you hear that inspiration today, right? I'm delighted, Jack. I've heard everything I need to hear. Once again, Mrs. Ronbo's baby boy has got the finger on the pulse of reality. Whew. But fam, let us get down to business. We're already late now as it is. I want to apologize. Today's headline subject: Lynch and Shanahan continue to baffle the NFL community by first surrendering a gold mine of picks to trade up from the number 12 position in the draft to number 3. Assumptions are being made that the move has to be for a QB. Of course! The question now becomes, for many, what are they going to do with Jimmy Garoppolo? Oh! That kind of move should mean a starter is being drafted. The organization denies this being the case. Also, the latest buzz is that the Niners made the move to get at Mac Jones. We'll be taking your phone calls tonight to see how you've been affected by the shifting dynamics in Santa Clara, along with everything else that is. Oh. Kyle Shanahan had a huge ask yesterday. Has to be his biggest yet in 4 years as a Niners coach. Once again, as usual, the York family ownership hit him with the green light. You go, Kyle. Moving up to draft the franchise next star quarterback at number 3 overall is the biggest request of Shanahan's tenure and of any 49ers coach before him. But the request came with another expensive layer. Shanahan asked, can we keep Jimmy G and his $26 million on the books? Jed said, you the man. Do what you got to do. Oh! So they're going for it because Shanahan, GM John Lynch, and the fun bunch of Jimmy G loving dudes, a.k.a. the 49ers locker room, have their York's full endorsement. Oh, TNT, don't cry. Ow! And news that we can all appreciate. K'Wan Williams says one more year with 49ers too intriguing to pass up. K'Wan drew interest on the open market, but decided there was no place like home. No place like home. So while he was out in Kansas, just like Dorothy was once upon a time, he put his shoes down, he put his cleats down on the ground, it was already on the ground, and tapped them 3 times. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Wizard of Oz shifted him back to San Francisco. K-Dub returned to the Niners on a 1-year deal after hearing from the Jets and the Chiefs. As I mentioned, he was out in Kansas. Williams joins Jason Verrett, Dante Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley, and Jaquaski Tart in returning to the secondary. And said today that the allure of another run with his teammates was too much to resist. Via 49erswebzone.com, Williams said, quote, all the deals were pretty similar at the time. I just chose the Niners. See, I thought he's from Jersey. The Jets called you and you said no? To come back to San Francisco? Yes! He says, Ace Quarter said, I just chose the Niners. I couldn't deny playing with some of my teammates, you know what I mean? In our secondary, we got Jimmy Ward, Jaquaski, we've got Jason, all those guys. Just being able to play one more year with those guys was just too intriguing for me. Unquote. Welcome back to the city, K1. Let's get down to this. When the Niners made that huge trade to move up to the number 3 spot in this year's draft, the prevailing belief was that the team did so to select a QB. There's no mystery behind that. There's no hiding what they're going to do. At number 3, you pick a quarterback and you stay the hell up out of that kind of a deal. That put Jimmy G's future in San Francisco in huge question. But both Lynch and Shanahan told reporters Monday that the plan is to draft a young QB and to keep Garoppolo. What are some of the NFL analysts saying as Twitter went wild? And it did too, boy, because people, even at this hour, people saying it's a smokescreen. People don't want Jimmy have said it's all BS. But meanwhile, Twitterville, Albert Breer, 49ers GM John Lynch, we felt like we had a team that can compete. We went to ownership, and hey, things are looking good. We want to make this trade, but we don't want to say goodbye to Jimmy. Ownership signed off on keeping both a rookie and Jimmy Garoppolo. On tweet, Nick Wagner, ESPN. 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan said it's accurate that team is planning to keep Jimmy Garoppolo, barring blown away by offer. Now, this indicates that it's not just putting smokescreens out there. If somebody comes in with an outrageously good offer, and it's probably going to have to be outrageous, they'll take it. But what are the odds that the 49ers will say it's got to be really good? They've got to get everything back they've already given away, and God knows what else. The 49ers are probably serious about that. Believe it or not. Shanahan said he believes it would be hard to find a QB who helps him win right now more than Garoppolo, and excited to have a QB learning behind him. That's hard for a lot of people to grasp, but it sounds rational, doesn't it? Albert Breer, 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan, asked on going to Alabama Pro Day tomorrow and not North Dakota State. Well, that was not already taking place. Says it was important for the team not to tip his hand before the trade was done. Now that you're up at 3, you don't have to hide as much. So that's why I'm saying, for people who think the 49ers are still clowning around, they're putting it all out there in front of you. The afterthoughts are the Niners might be telling the truth when they say they want to keep Jimmy G heading into next season, but it is still something that only a few of us believe. He's under contract for 2 more seasons, and the Niners could choose a lot of young players develop behind him for the duration of that contract, as strange as that sounds to many people. And it really does. Some people just can't handle it. No, they're lying. The organization could be doing what so many believe the Niners are simply putting up a smokescreen, hoping to drive up the price with teams by creating the impression they want to keep the JG. It's rare that a team uses a top 3 pick on a young QB, only to keep him locked on the bench for a season or 2. Normally, that is the action of a team that's fallen all the way to the pits of hell, trying to make their way back, and it starts with the quarterback. Even if they have to get him killed if they don't have anybody to protect him or any weapons to throw to. That is normally the situation, right? Not the 49ers. They've got a ready-made team, but they don't want, John Lynch made it clear, I do not want to go into another season with Jimmy going down, and I got nothing but CJ and Nick. And that kind of fits the puzzle a little bit, too. NFL players aren't devoid of ego, and trading a flurry of future draft picks to select a young QB isn't going to sit well with the JG. Who knows? He's now on borrowed time in San Francisco. Likewise, a young incoming player isn't going to be thrilled by the notion of sitting a year or 2 behind GG. Notice I just, if I told you what the G first stands for, I'd embarrass myself. JG. This situation has the potential to become a pretty awkward situation, doesn't it? It could blow up. Matt Barrows. Shanahan said he figured Jimmy Garoppolo's a little pissed off by the news the 49ers had traded to the number 3. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. The more mad he gets, the better he gets, Shanahan said. And this is true. That's why I posted up Jimmy's ratio. Once he makes a mistake and comes back out on the field a second time, he just cuts a team up like one of the best razor men you've ever seen. His stats are phenomenal when he gets an INT. He needs to stop doing that and making himself that mad because he makes everybody else mad. But when he comes back, Jimmy's a man on a mission. He cleans up his messes. Nobody can deny that. If you got a second shot in that Super Bowl for Emmanuel Sanders, I guarantee you wouldn't have missed it. But that's neither here nor there. Say, Mike Sando replied to Tim Kawakami. It takes drama off the decision to trade up. If Jimmy plays well, great. If he gets hurt or struggles, they transition to the other guy without having expressly chosen to go with the rookie over Jimmy G from the start. Keeping Jimmy G lets San Francisco have the best of both in theory. On tweet, Robert Mays. I understand this in theory and think it actually makes sense. Some sense, but $25 million feels like a very expensive public relations strategy, and 2 first-round picks is a lot to give up for someone who's going to spend any time on the bench behind Jimmy and G. Let me repeat that insane trade. The Niners traded the number 12 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, a 2021 third-rounder and a first-rounder selection in both 2022 and 2023 to the Miami Dolphins to move up to the number 3 spot. It does sound absolutely insane. This goes to show you, though. Shanahan has Jed and the York family apparently wrapped around his baby finger. Jed would never sign off with anybody else for this. This is outrageous when you think about it. The general expectation is that Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson will be the first two picks of this year's draft, leaving the Niners to select between Ohio State's Justin Fields, North Dakota State's Trey Lance, and Alabama's Mac Jones. Oh, no! The latest buzz has the Niners targeting Jones. Dane Brugler. Time will tell if it comes to fruition, but the buzz about Mac Jones at number 3 is undeniable. The Athletic NFL Network draft analyst Move the Sticks told Robert Mays. By the way, Move the Sticks is Daniel Jeremiah. What he was hearing about the 49ers' big move up to number 3 in the draft and their rumored interest in Mac Jones. On tweet, Troy Rinnick. When I first heard the move, I thought it was for Lance and have him redshirt this season behind Jimmy G. But people who know Kyle Shanahan a lot better, Mac Jones is firmly in play. It is fascinating. Ow, on tweet. Peaches Burritos replied to Troy, who is Peaches Burritos? I love it. Troy, this is a smoke screen. Word on Lance is that although he only has one season under his belt, he allegedly played in a pro-style offense and with his physical skills fits more the Shanahan mobile bootleg read option style offense than Jones. Ain't nobody going to disagree with that. Andrew Perloff, you don't trade up 9 spots for a quarterback who has things to work on. That's why I think it's Mac Jones. Whoa! Another excellent point. At Chris Simmons on which quarterback 49ers will take at number 3 on the DP show. Peter King of Pro Football Talk reported Monday that Jones is in the mix for the Niners. Though he added that there is a cadre. Let me get that right. A cadre. Don't you love that word? That means something that's been emphasized over and over. Of evaluators who do not think Jones is a great quarterback for 2021 football because he's not mobile like a Lance or Wilson. A player like Lance, untweet by the way, a player like Lance might not be as plug and play as Jones, but he could have enough enticing long-term potential and a higher ceiling than Jones or Fields that the Niners could be comfortable moving serious draft assets to acquire him, even if that means grooming him for a year or two behind G. So there's a lot of moving pieces in play. One thing is certain, San Francisco is going to draft a QB at number 3. What remains less certain is what does this all mean for Mrs. Garoppolo's baby boy? It's exciting being a 49er fan, ain't it? Oh, my God. Is Kyle Shanahan going to terrorize the Niners by drafting Mac Jones with the number 3 pick on the draft night? Damn, you know what we can lay back on, though? No matter what looks clear and obvious, history has already demonstrated to us. Whatever we're seeing, whatever we process, they're not going to do it. Mac Jones is not coming to San Francisco. I just don't believe it. I hear it. I see it. The points being made are solid. Kyle does not necessarily like working with rookies that are raw. He wants you to have at least, and who's got most? When you come out of the Bama program, I keep thinking Bama could be added in one of the conferences in the NFL. Them tackles and defenders, there is every bit as big as anybody in the NFL. But you know what? It's not happening. And Jones is all pumped up because if he's heard his name too many times, he loved to come to San Francisco. Jones told reporters Monday during his pro day media availability, it takes one team to kind of fall in love with the guy. This is a quote from him, and hopefully I can do that. Whatever team wants to do that, that would be awesome. But at the end of the day, I'm not surprised that there are some teams that are going to be trading up. And I think the 49ers would be awesome to play for. But at the end of the day, I can't look at it too much and let it be a distraction. They're going to pick who they are going to pick, and I'm just going to go in and work like I did for 4 years at Bama. Hopefully it works out in the long run. Jones continue with, I'm not really surprised. You just work for it, and hopefully people see it. I know for a fact that the teams meeting with, we have been impressed with my football IQ. Got to be scared of that. Kyle Shanahan likes sharp dudes. And they watch the tape and see that I have some of the best tape. So, yeah, I think it's more of a media thing that people will knock me a little bit, but it is what it is, unquote. Fam, Jones is defined as accurate, cerebral quarterback who is a quick processor with good pocket mobility, a strong feel for pressure, and pretty deep ball. His lack of elite athleticism has many labeling him as a dinosaur, but his ability to run through his progressions and make accurate throws into tight windows has others believing he could be the next great pocket passer. Then I gotta tell you, really, I don't have a serious favorite amongst the people they're gonna pick. I would love. Actually, I look at Trey Lance. I kind of like him for pretty aesthetic reasons. I like the way he runs down the field and just runs over people when he's running out of the pocket. I find that amusing. He's a quarterback, but he's a steamroller, a beast. When he's on the loose, it's like a bull in a china shop. He's just breaking glass everywhere. So I do like him, but I've been paying closer attention to Zach Wilson. He is razor sharp. In fact, I got some good news for those who do worry about, real quickly before we go to the phone, that do worry about Jones. Cynthia Freeland's 2021 mock draft. Here's something else. Do you know that Rich Eisen said the 49ers never even approached the Jets? Wow. So do they know something? Because you have to assume they do. They didn't even bother to talk to the Jets, according to Rich. And I don't know where Rich gets his information from, but he said that. And I said to myself, whoa, if that's true, but you don't know, if that's true, then the 49ers had this plan a long time ago. Anyway, real quickly, Cynthia has, of course, Trey Lawrence going to Jacksonville. That's no surprise to anybody. It hasn't changed anything. But here's the thing that blew me away. The New York Jets at number 2. Such a same general offensive line theme as my first mock, where I matched the Jets with Penei Sewell as their presumable right tackle. This time, my model gives a slight edge to Slater due to his versatility to play guard or tackle, be multiple right out of the gate. The Jets have not addressed their very needy O-line this offseason beyond trading for Dan Feeney. This pick at number 2 also reflects a positive addition of running back Tevin Coleman, whose scheme familiarity with new Jets OC Mike LaFleur means the spaces Slater could clear would be of more value. And she says, here's my strategy to note. It's logical to assume that the Niners have some idea of what the Jets are up to, and vice versa, especially given the number of San Francisco coaches who just relocated to Florham Park. It's not anything unfair or unusual. It would have been smart of the Dolphins to presumably leverage this in their trade haul for number 3. But this does strongly point to quarterback as a position selected here, and BYU's Zach Wilson is the strongest rumored selection. That said, the general point of this mock is to maximize each team's potential to win as many games as possible in 2021. My model gives Sam Darnold a 4.25 win share as the Jets' 2021 starter, while Wilson adds 3.93. And hey, we're in the thick of mock draft season. You've all seen a million first-round projections with Wilson going to the Jets. So what if actually stick with Darnold and go another route and approach I might add that no one conclusively ruled out? How about the impact round 1 as a whole? This is a fam. It could be she's on to something there. Especially that goes along with what Rich Eisen said. The 49ers trade up 9 spots, giving up 2 additional first-rounders and a third. We all know about the target one position only, QB. All right? Here's the thing. Exploring a draft pick at any other position in this blurb would just seem like a pointless pursuit at this point. My model takes into account each team's current status, roster makeup, opponent scheme, etc., and with Wilson's ability to play action matching well with Shanahan's system, the model gives him a 4.27 win share. Alabama quarterback Mac Jones, whose name keeps cropping up around the Niners, could be 3.77 wins. Watch out. Don't expect anything but the unexpected on draft night. Niners by nature! 88, thanks, fam. Fields plus Shanahan, unstoppable. Robert Slavin says, get ready to take the poster off the back. Robert Slavin, get ready to get... It's going to be another year before the JG comes down. For sure. We got a Super Bowl run to go. Ain't got time for no rookies to learn nothing. These guys came back. K1 came back for a ride to the Super Bowl. It cannot be done with a rookie. Williams didn't sign on for no rookie. It's JG, and Shanahan knows it. I got here. Paul III? Okay. Paul III, Jones reminds me of Mullins. Similar measurables. Jones has also got an all-star crew out there catching the ball for him, too. That's why I think, I don't know. Watching Jones overthrow guys gives me flashbacks of the Super Bowl. Watching Fields throw a perfect deep pass on the run gave me, I say, you know what? These are things that happen off and on. Every quarterback does not hit their target every time. Did you see Jones? Oh, HK. Oh, it's him. I said, so HBK. HBK. We can't blow that up. Okay. Anyway, is that? Oh God, it's really far away. Okay. Thank you so much. Niners 7-18. Did you see Mac breaking down the Niners offense? He's breaking it down as he's been here for years. He's already watching Niner film. Also, while somebody said they saw him miss a pass, did you see that laser shot he sent to Devonta? I mean, Smith, that was a 50-yard bomb right on target. You can't measure one bad throw. You have to look at the whole body of work. So Kyle's going to do that. I promise he's going to do that. He's not going to look at the only bad throws and decide that's what the guy is. He's going to look at the good throws, too. This goes for any quarterback in the NFL. Every last one of them, even Brady, Rodgers, all of them have had bad throws. You can't go by those. For Kobe says, hey, man, this is an exciting draft. Can't wait, but Jimmy's still a leader of us. My support for him. Hey, Kyle knows you're going back to the Super Bowl with this team, you better take the weapons you had. Long-time Niner fan, Justin Fields is a pick, or perhaps Zach Wilson if he falls to number 3. It could be. They do need protection in New York, badly. Ashford Turbo, the way Mac Jones pro day went today, Kyle is not getting Mac Jones. Mac Jones isn't worth the draft capital we've given up. Ashford, you must have seen a different pro day than I did. Him and Devonta, man, they were kicking ass. Mr. 16, Downey, Montana. Watch, brother. Hey, Ronbo, checking in from the 818. Downey, what's up? Oh, and we go to the phone and catch the reactions of this crazy team. I'm tangled up here like I'm in a fishnet. Okay. Justin, come on in, man.
Yeah.
It's just in.
Ronbo. We're,
Justin?
we're going to pick. And then we made this trade. And then
Can you imagine?
people started coming for me, man. Not only me, but they came for you too. I saw it on Twitter, man. I felt so. Oh my man, why you guys coming at my man Ronbo over there, man?
Dude, they be coming in two lines then too, boy. Because I be throwing punches and kicks like, shit. I look like Bruce Lee in there, man.
Listen here, listen.
You know.
Even the funny thing is, it's from a tweet from a year ago too. So they really had to dig through my tweets. I'm like, y'all really have nothing to do, but that's better than do than just keep checking my tweets, huh? All right. I mean, I guess. Hey,
I know.
I got more time on my hands, But if everybody, you know what? I'm not gonna say I was wrong. Whatever people say, we're gonna draft. I knew we were always gonna draft a quarterback. Probably was not the case, But I don't know about this quarterback class. I really don't. I don't. But other than Lawrence and the Fields, that's about it. But then again, the Ohio State quarterbacks don't really do well.
That freaks a lot of people out. Is he going to not represent like everybody else does from Ohio State? Is he for real? Can he actually come out and look good?
And then BYU quarterback Zach Wilson didn't really pay anybody. As you know, his school backed out of playing on the unranked team because they wanted to see where they're ranked at. So that's another thing. So, and North Dakota State. Could it be Carson Wentz 2.0 with the quarterback coming out of North Dakota State? So, this is, it's going to be an interesting draft, man. I swear, I hope. I'm going to be fine if we draft Fields, whatever. I swear.
You have to.
Ronbo, help me God. If we draft that quarterback out of Alabama, I ain't going to flip shit. I ain't going to flip shit. Okay,
you know what?
No. Hell
Relax,
no.
because if you had to bet money, bet against it. It's too obvious. The 49ers are running around there making sure and influencing everybody.
Did you see how
That's the guy.
bad he
He ain't
did?
coming.
Did you see how bad he did today? You see how bad that guy was today?
I saw him in
Missing
his
throws. Oh
Go ahead.
my.
I saw him make
he
one
just was
beautiful
missing
shot, and I
throws.
quit watching.
Yeah, he was missing throws. He had a terrible pro day. Missing throws, overthrowing receivers. Belichick shook his head as soon as that overthrow came. It's no. Please no. Please no. I was done with that guy. Hell no. No. So, and, I don't even know where he's going to end up, but he better not end up with Niners. If any team wants to screw themselves over with that quarterback, but I tell you what, that quarterback, he's not. I don't even see high hopes for him because I don't even think he's that great of a quarterback.
And
I don't.
also,
So,
and Justin, if you wanted Mac Jones, you don't need to trade up and throw away all the assets. Okay, you could have got Jones probably in the double digits. I don't think he's all that intriguing for most GMs. I just
he's
don't.
not.
And I don't never did. So I said,
He's
but
not.
I did think this. That's a Kyle Shanahan style, though. Other than that, yeah, he's not that exciting. And he had the best receivers. Damn near the receivers he had, shoot, they were as good as any NFL team. So how are you gonna miss?
I will say this: regardless of who we pick, if we pick any rookie quarterback, I guarantee you, week one, Garoppolo's is heading out there week one. So all these people who keep tagging me over here on Twitter, y'all, I could laugh, but I'm still sticking to my guns. Jimmy Garoppolo will be walking out there week one. That's all I know. So,
that's damn right. Damn right.
All
the vets we got, they didn't come back to watch no rookies sit out there and learn. It stunts the growth of the team. They got to slow down for that new QB. Kyle Shanahan is not crazy about rookies anyway. This is not happening. Now, he may get one there and let him learn for a minute, but starting them next year with the Super Bowl team, get up out of here with that. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, you've been around too long to know that isn't going to happen. It took a while for Steve Young to get the reins for Montana.
And he's a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and we've gone through some terrible quarterbacks. And for everybody who wants to complain about the quarterback position, we've been through some terrible quarterbacks. Trent Dilfer, Brian Hoyer, on and on, So, like,
don't forget Blaine.
Sean Hill. Oh, yeah. Blaine Gabbert. Oh, my God. I was at that game. Yeah, but
we gotta go because I'm late again, so I don't want to make people wait too late. So I'll see you. I guess I'll see you this weekend. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Something crazy
y'all
happens.
Have a good day.
Yeah. All right, Phil.
Y'all have a good day. Wear your mask. Keep 6 feet and be safe, everybody. Be safe.
Yeah.
And
good information.
Have a good show, Ronbo. Have a good
thanks,
show.
man.
Have a good show, Ronbo. Don't let these people get you down, man. You road G. All right.
They come to me, Jack. They leave smacked. So just come on at me. Justin.
Yes, sir.
See you this weekend, fam.
Take care of yourself, man.
You too.
Yes, sir.
Hey, John, come on in, man.
Ronbo.
John, it's becoming. We're not even into April yet. We got weeks to go, and the drama, it's gonna be like. Man, it's going to be like one of the biggest movies of all time between now and draft night as far as the 49ers are. It's crazy, man, because the media's trying to say Mac Jones is Kyle's guy, even his bro, Chris Sims. And then everybody's saying, but then there's Trey Lance, and then there's Justin Fields. Although it seems that Lance and Mac Jones are getting the most noise. But what are you thinking here?
First, I saw both the pro days. I saw Mac Jones and Justin Fields. And Justin Fields is, just like everyone said, he's advertised how good he is. All of the aspect of a quarterback for today's NFL. We will see if that translates, versus the pro competition. But Mac Jones, I saw so many throwing the ball to Najee Harris, to his tight ends, like 10 yards. He even one time threw a ball, hit the ceiling, which is kind of funny.
That's a powerful arm. My God. How do you – that's a high ceiling. But go ahead.
And then also, when he completed that pass to Devontae Smith, Devontae Smith had to turn around and slow up to let that ball land to him. Yes, he caught that. He made, Mac Jones really good. But, when you throw a deep ball, you don't want your receivers slowing down and turning around and waiting for the ball to slow down. And that's the thing that, we make fun of Jimmy, he missed the pass. You don't want that. Plus, that was just a pro day. So that's one red flag when your Heisman Trophy winning receiver has to slow down. Plus, he didn't want to be there. So at the end of the day, he didn't really impress me for a number 3 pick. If Kyle Shanahan really wanted, he would have waited to number 12. But it's either going to be, if Zach Wilson drops, it's going to be him, Justin Fields, and Trey Lance. I've said it. I'm a Lance guy. A lot of people, they criticize me. They're saying, hey, he's only played, in this many games. He played in like Division 2 or 3, But, he looks really good in all his games, But at the end of the day, like I said, if it's Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, I'm gonna support the quarterbacks. But at the same time, just like every 49ers fan, you better be good. You better be good, because that's the thing. Like we can say, oh yeah, we got Justin Fields or we got Zach Wilson or Trey Lance. They have to sit down for 1 year. Jimmy Garoppolo. Kyle Shanahan, said, something. Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo's mad. Of course he's mad. I would not blame him. I would be Jimmy Garoppolo. Hey, go to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Hey, do you want me long term? Because if you want me for 1 year, trade me right now. Because at the end of the day, if I was him, I don't know how, that mental toughness that he has, when it comes, to teaching a rookie quarterback. But if he's going to stay there for 1 year, let him stay there for 1 year, have that kid learn. Because at the end of the day, that kid we draft, it has to take the field one day and then has to perform really well. So whoever that quarterback is, they can learn for 1 year, but once they go in the game, we're going to see how good these prospects really are.
Mm-hmm. And also, the conversation that Kyle probably had with Jimmy may not resemble anything that none of us are thinking. Because they got time for the rookie. But if Jimmy Garoppolo goes out there and kicks ass next year, you better believe Jed York's going to intervene if there's any moves like what we're thinking about getting rid of Jimmy. So Jimmy knows he's on stage next year. If he brings the 49ers a championship, boy, there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings. That means Jimmy Garoppolo has arrived in his second year under Shanahan, and that's going to be tough to remove. But we'll see what happens. He's got to prove it first. And the rookie's got to learn that in the NFL, you may have to sit behind somebody who's doing a good job.
And then I was watching Jim Trotter on the Beast Rider podcast, and Jim Trotter was looking back at each of the last 10 years. Teams that have traded up in the top 5, those quarterbacks have either been bust or they are at other teams. Yeah. So he's saying that, hey, the 49ers, he's predicting that the 49ers may have that, that possibility. But as I mentioned, if Jimmy's staying,
that possibility, though.
I believe this rookie, whoever it's going to be, will learn and will have good success because the team around him is much better than everyone says it is. Because, whoever the quarterback is, you have, established receivers, a tight end, you fix up the line, a fullback, and the defense is just going to get better every year. So we will see if he's right. Hopefully he's wrong.
Well, see, what you've got to work against on that, John, those people you're talking about on the 49ers offense, that's going to aid Jimmy too. So that's what I'm saying. You got to weigh all the possibilities, and then we'll find out later. But John, let's see this weekend.
All right, Ronbo, I want to give a shout-out to Tommy Huxley, the Lambs killer. Go after Rudy. And, of course, just like always, Niners all day.
All day. Now, John, Krusty.
Hey, Ronbo, how's it going?
Krusty's doing fabulous because when I say something, 90% of the time I believe it myself. 10% doubt, only that's about it. So when Kyle and John came out saying the identical same things on different venues, I said, see, it's hard to rehearse lies like that if that's a lie. I think the 49ers are serious about that. And Jed York has signed off on it. It's on. So, Krusty, I'm feeling comfortable. I did not want a rookie starting this team. He's not ready. We got this window wide open. Go for it. And it can't be gone for with a rookie, no matter how Superman he is. So anyway, I'm delighted.
Absolutely. So am I. Just like, John Lynch kept his word and he said that they need to upgrade the backup quarterback position. They didn't say that they needed to upgrade the quarterback position. So, they're going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
See, but the problem I have is
that trade up.
Which quarterback? Why would you have risked everything and moved up to the number 3 spot if you didn't have an idea of who you were definitely going to get? Because if they go on and Trevor Lawrence goes 1,
yeah,
and Zach Wilson goes 2nd, just like before, like the last time I said, Justin Fields or Trey Lance would have been there at 6, where the Eagles got for 1 less first-round pick and a third-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to have some kind of intel or something to have decided that they wanted to move to number 3.
Yeah, Krusty, I sort of reflect on that real quick because Cynthia has Kwity Paye going to the Falcons at number 4 because they do need defense.
Right.
Penei Sewell will be going at number 5.
Right.
And the Dolphins will pick Kyle Pitts. So you're right. This goes on. And these make sense. Jamar Chase will go to Detroit at number 7. And number 8, Trey Lance. We're not even talking about Justin Fields yet. See,
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The only team between 1, after 2 and 6 that would draft a quarterback is the Falcons. That's the only team.
Defense.
Yeah, exactly. So they're probably going to draft somebody else. And, I am going to laugh if they freaking draft Sewell out of freaking Oregon. I'm going to laugh. I really am. Because I think that, if they draft Mac Jones, he would have been there at 12.
Yes.
He would have been there at 12.
And Justin Fields goes
they're
at
even
9.
saying,
Yeah.
Right. So, like I'm saying, is like if it's gotta be Zach Wilson that they're trying to go after, because we could have got a better deal. We could have, because the Eagles are obviously wanting to move out of the numbers. They were willing to move out of the number 6 spot.
Yep.
And we could have got Trey Lance or Justin Fields at number 6.
Mm-hmm.
And we know the Miami Dolphins weren't drafting QB.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, you got the only one we'd have to worry about is the number 4 pick, which is Atlanta Falcons. And they might have drafted Fields. And, other than Zach Wilson, I don't think Trey Lance is going to freaking make it at number 3. I really don't. Because he's got a limited tape. He's got limited tape. He's got, he hasn't really done much. He doesn't have a tight spiral. I've sat here and talked about Ohio State's QBs, but, at first I didn't realize that he wasn't from Ohio State. He didn't play for Ohio State to begin with. He was at Georgia, and then he moved it to Ohio State after he wasn't able to get the starting gig from Jake Fromm, which, from my understanding, he was better than Jake Fromm. They just kept giving it to him for some reason. So, maybe Justin Fields is better than we think that he is. But I really don't think that he wouldn't have gone number 3 anyway. Miami would never have picked a quarterback at number 3. We could have waited. We could have tried to trade with, number 4 or, the number 6. If we weren't going after Zach Wilson and knew something about it, I don't think there's any reason we should have moved to number 3.
I agree.
We could have spent less capital, because whoever we're drafting better be worth 3 first-round picks. You got this year's, next year's, and the following year's, plus a third-rounder. So they better be worth all those things. And Trey Lance is a project quarterback. I can't see us spending that much capital on somebody we don't know anything about.
So it's got to be Wilson, and Freeland might be onto something. The Jets are going to go for some offensive protection because it doesn't matter who you put behind center. If there's nobody's going to protect him, he's going to be meat. So I agree.
Right. I know a lot of people say that we didn't trade 3 first-round picks. They're right. We didn't. We traded
2.
our first-round pick plus 2, but the quarterback or whoever we're drafting is worth 3 first-round picks in our team's eyes. And it better be somebody good, because if it's not, they I'm not freaking interrupting your stuff, so don't interrupt mine, dude.
Yeah,
so
don't do
just
that,
keep your
guys.
shit to yourself.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I'll be respectful. I never freaking call in. I never interrupt anybody else. Just don't interrupt me, dude. I'm talking my shit. You can talk yours when it's your turn.
All right, go ahead, continue, Cressy. Stay on mute, guys. Stay on mute, please.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Cressy.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is I don't think that, we have to have somebody that we think is worth 3 first-round picks and a third-rounder to trade up to draft.
And we're going to find out.
It can't be Lance. So it's going to be Zach Wilson, or like I said, we're going to trade back, or we might draft Fields. Who knows? They got to have some kind of intelligence. I don't know. Or I hope we draft somebody that's not a quarterback. We'll see. But I'm happy that Jimmy's going to be our QB for the year. Even George said he wants Jimmy to be his QB this year. So
all of them do. You won't find anybody in the locker room looking for another quarterback. They all want Jimmy.
And regardless of what everybody says, Jimmy wins.
There you go.
So that's all I got to say. I'll talk to you whenever you come on next.
We're back this weekend. But all right. Good stuff, Crusty.
I'll see you this weekend.
What's interesting is, as I look at Cynthia's mock draft, do you know that Mac... Let's go. Listen, Daniel Serrano, we pick a quarterback at number 3, then trade Jimmy for top 20. Good shot, Daniel. Oh, and as I was going to say, Mac Jones isn't even in the first round. Daniel also says, Ronbo, are you going to buy a Fields fathead next? No, not until he becomes a 49er. Jimmy stays. Y'all might as well get used to that fathead. It ain't going nowhere anytime soon. And here he comes, just in time. Big Will, Dollar Bill, Will. Come on in, Will. Let it all out.
What's up, Ronbo? What's going on?
I'm just sitting here. I'm laughing at the stories going around the league about Mac Jones. And I say, why is everybody sending Mac Jones to San Francisco? Is this even possible? No. But it is funny. And then again, if Kyle does pick Mac Jones, you talk about the silence that's going to fall over the entire Niner empire. Ain't nobody going to be able to say nothing. Both sides of the fence on the Jimmy Garoppolo, we all going to be united and said, Kyle, WTF. I can see it already. But, Will, what do you think of there?
Nah, ain't no Mac Jones. Ain't no way. It's obvious. We need to quit playing dumb. Ain't no Mac Jones. It's too obvious. Only reason why everybody's comparing Mac Jones connecting Mac Jones to the 49ers because they comparing him to Matt Ryan's Kirk Cousins, and they think that's who Kyle likes. It's not going down like that. You gave up too much draft capital to get a Mac Jones. Mac Jones is a top 15 projected player. So, I mean, we could have stayed at 12 and got him if that was the case. So you're not giving up all that draft capital to get Mac Jones. Mac Jones had a bad pro day. Mac Jones back-to-back times oversell a deep ball. 2 in a row, twice in a row. And yeah, Bill Belichick did shake his head. He had a horrible pro day. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
He was underthrown and overthrown.
Yeah.
So no, Mac Jones isn't it. So with that being said, it's obvious Trevor Lawrence going number 1. It's obvious Zach Wilson is going number 2. So who's after him? Justin Fields. Yeah, you're right. It could be a maybe because the Jets O-line messed up. How you gonna bring in a rookie quarterback and you ain't got your O-line ready? So they could go O-line. So if they could go O-line, we can go ahead and get Zach Wilson at 3.
Yep.
It's either gonna be Justin Fields or Wilson. It's
no
1,
chance
2, 3.
for Trey Lawrence.
That's how it's gonna be. Yeah, it's how it's gonna be. 1, 2, 3. So I mean, if Jets do get Wilson, we getting Fields. You're not about to give away all that up for no Lance or no Mac Jones. Lance is a project. He's not even worth that. So basically, it's 1, 2, 3. So you got Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields. That's it. Kyle Shanahan now realized that you got to have a quarterback that can improvise and that can do stuff on his. The quarterback got to learn how to do stuff on his own. when the play breaks down. It's obvious.
He's got to have an IQ, though.
If you get Mac Jones, Jones, you might as well keep Jimmy G.
No,
you might as well keep Jimmy G. You're going to get Mac Jones.
Well, G ain't going nowhere this year. But you know what? Here's the thing. That IQ has got to be razor sharp. Shanahan's going to test him and ask him all the right things. He's got to answer those questions right. Shanahan wants a quarterback first that's going to be able to run his playbook. If he improvises, then, yeah, okay. But better know how to understand that playbook because that's number one. Because that's his ego.
Justin Fields a warrior. Justin Fields been through so many obstacles. He succeeded all of it. You know, the Clemson game, the man had bruised ribs and threw up 6 touchdowns with bruised ribs. He hurt his ribs in that game. I think he cracked one of them, and he threw up 6 touchdowns against Clemson.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's obvious. If Lawrence and Wilson is gone, you get Fields. You get the best player available, and that's it. That's in a nutshell.
And you're probably right because all the attention being given to Mac Jones means the 49ers aren't going there. Like last year, we looked at all them wide receivers last year, and Kyle didn't pay attention to one of them. He went to Javon, like you said he would. And even at the end of that first round, there were still some other guys, but all of a sudden he picks Ayuk. That was a shock, but a delightful shock.
So it is. I mean, it is what it is. It's common sense. And about the Jimmy G thing. I'm fine with it. If Jimmy G stays one more year, that's fine by me because he's gonna be gone anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody on both sides should be satisfied. Jimmy G fans, you may get Jimmy another year unless somebody presents John Lynch with an offer he can't refuse and he get traded on draft night, or we go ahead and keep Jimmy. But everybody should be happy. Jimmy G fans, you get Jimmy for another year. The anti-Jimmy fans, which is me, you know, we getting our quarterback for the future, and Jimmy G gonna be out the door. So I mean,
and
Jimmy G gonna be gone anyway. So you might as well enjoy it right now. Just enjoy it right now because he's gonna be gone anyway.
And he could be fired up to the point next year after second year in the system, knowing it like his back of his hand. He could be on his way to the Super Bowl. If he wins it, I don't know. I could see it coming.
No. That's not how it goes. Even if Jimmy G does win the Super Bowl, he's still gonna be gone because you're not giving up all that draft capital to sit a rookie down for a second year. After that 1 year, Jimmy has to go.
It's all about championships.
No, Ronbo, you don't know how the draft works. If Jimmy G wins the Super Bowl, he still will leave because all the draft capital we got to get the rookie, he has to play. You're not gonna do that.
All right.
That's not how it works. So either way, he's out the door. So it don't matter.
It makes you feel better. I'm okay with that. All right.
Because I'm right, Ronbo. Because I'm right.
I believe you believe it. We'll be out of time.
That's not how it works.
All right. Let's see you this weekend.
So just enjoy it. They're gonna be gone anyway.
I will. I promise. All right. Nice. There goes Will. Hey, Tom.
Ronbo.
Tom, come on in, Tom. And let's talk about the possibility of the Jones boy coming to San Francisco. Like all the Lynch talking heads, including Kyle's bro, Chris Sims, says it's about to happen.
Jesus.
Are you?
Oh, God.
Are you mentally equipped to sit there and say, Mac Jones? Oh, Kyle!
Yeah. First of all, this is the Lambs killer on the line.
It's Tom Youngster.
Yeah. Second, that's just a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
Why in the hell? I think
it makes for great theater.
All the beat writers are saying it's Mac Jones.
Over and
Nobody wants Mac and Cheese Jones.
I mean, it's just...
Come on. The guy's a backup, I'm sorry to say. Without that weapons, without the line, without Najee Harris, those acrobatic wide receivers.
Oh, God, they were good. All of them. Waddle, Smith. And that, what's the guy with a fun name? McChee, something like that? I said, look at this. How are you going to cover that?
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Well, he's got good receivers in San Francisco, but I don't know if he's got 3 number ones. And I'm looking at all 3 of those guys as potential number 1 receivers in Bama right now. So he had no way to lose. Just throw it. And your guys are going to beat every coverage out there. So,
he's got a good arm, but I don't know. But I'm thinking they're targeting Fields because I heard some things about Zach Wilson. I heard he's kind of a diva. He's kind of an elitist.
What?
He's not really a good leader.
Really?
But yeah, I heard that. So if that's the
going to be
case, and they
documented
heard
somewhere.
that,
I gotta look at that. Yeah. Well, the pros and cons. You can find those.
If that's the case, then Shanny and they're not going to touch him with a 10-foot pole. They want a leader,
not a diva.
someone down to earth, kind of like Jimmy-esque.
Yeah. That's because Trey Lance is too young for that kind of thinking. You think Trey Lance might be a leader? Well, maybe.
He's only 20.
I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, if they're going to sit him for 2 years, I mean,
he'll be 22. Okay.
Yeah.
How about the Fields? Has he got all? Does he check all the boxes for you?
well, he's durable. Like the last caller said, I agree 100%. He's got a really good arm. He's fast as hell.
Yeah. Was he running a 4.5?
He's not a pure. Yeah, I think it was 4.4, wasn't it?
4.4, yeah. 4.45.
I think
it's
so.
4.45, yeah. I think.
And he's been in the big games. I mean.
Yeah, he's battle tested.
And he's played against great teams. I think Zach Wilson, they had the easiest schedule over there.
See, people argue about that. I don't watch BYU football. So, when people say, man, he ain't played nobody, I would say, well, everybody says he's just the absolute shiznit. But you're saying otherwise?
Yeah, I think they had weak defenses over there. But you could say the same thing about Ohio State. Everything's schemed. It's schemed open at Ohio State. But isn't that the same thing Shanahan's offense does too?
See, this is the thing. Absolutely. OCs are not looking to put their quarterbacks in test. Can you throw in tight windows 50 yards down the field? If not, we're not interested. That is BS, and nobody's looking to do that. We don't want to challenge defenses in that fashion. You take what the defense gives you. And a lot of people can't accept that, Tom. That's what I can't. What are you talking about, what he can't do? That's not necessary anyway. If you got an intelligent OC, you don't do that.
Yeah, and I was thinking Fields would be a bust just because of the Oregon State factor, but he's from Georgia, and he's not like Haskins at all. Haskins was not even good in college, and this guy is great. I mean, he beat the hell out of Clemson, like the last caller. Actually, I was rooting against Fields because I'm
Clemson
that's
fan.
My draft crush is Lawrence.
Hey, if he wouldn't have got hurt, that's what people told me because I'm watching the same game you were. I saw maybe the same things you did. I don't know anything about Fields, but I wasn't all that impressed. Here's the thing: what if Fields wouldn't have been hurt during that game? Would he have put on a better show and won that game?
Possible.
Yeah.
I would think so because they blame Jimmy for not his bum ankle.
I know. Don't get me started on that. But Tom, we're going to run out of time. Let me see you this weekend, will you? Looking forward. It should be fun.
Well, let me say hi to I just want to say hello to everyone in the chat for Kobe, 49ers Ultimate Report, and some of the TNT members who I know. The Jimmy G haters.
Let's say hello to
Jesus
Ronbo.
Christ, he's got to go.
Ronbo, hello, Ronbo, hello. Greetings.
Hi.
All right.
Hey, Tommy, I love your wife's British brogue. That's outstanding. Hey, let's see you guys this
All right,
weekend.
man.
All right.
Definitely.
You too.
Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And Yash 49 says Mac Jones, best stats, any QB in 2020. Oh! And I've already read that a million times. That's why I think, God, that's... But look what he had for weaponry. I can look at, my God, he didn't have any place he could close his eyes and just throw it. James, come on. Oh, James, come on in. James.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing, man?
James, the mysteries of pre-draft time. You know, I'm looking down through Miss Freeland's mock draft. Do you know that Mac Jones has fallen into the second round? Oh, my Lord. And the 49ers did not trade up to pick up no Jones. They know, like Freeland, they could have got Jones at number 12 if they really wanted him. James, what's going to happen here?
Well, first of all, thank you and your staff for all that you do. I've been listening to everything, you know, and it's a lot of callers have made some valid points. I will say this, though. Sitting at 12, it's really how bad did you want it? Because if you don't get the particular guy you need this year, and say Jimmy has another injury season, and then next year he's injured again, and what are you going to do? You're going to pick a bum quarterback that, you know, the franchise will be down to, we'll be picking in the top 5 and losing players every year. So, and one thing I can say, I don't know how his pro day went. I've heard a few callers that say he missed Smith
Mac,
on a couple of deep balls or whatever.
Throwing
Mac
the ball
Jones,
all up on it, hitting the ceiling. I don't know how you do that.
I don't either. I can say this much though. He put up 45 TDs and 4 INTs, and 2 of them INTs wasn't on him. One of them was on that boy Metchin, number 8
that's what I'm trying to think of. Yeah.
And one was on, I believe it was one on Devontae Smith. Now, at the same time, you know, I look at it this way. In the last, you know something, Ronbo, in the last 20 years, going all the way back to 2001, you know it's been 16 mobile quarterbacks drafted? Let me just give you a little preview. Michael Vick, first round, Jason Campbell, Vince Young, Jamarcus Russell, Josh Freeman, Tim Tebow, Cam Newton, Robert Griffin, E.J. Manuel, Blake Bortles, and Teddy Bridgewater. You know how many of them right now are still starting quarterbacks?
Oh, you opened up a can of worms
You
here,
know,
James. You know.
you know how many of them were a bust? Okay, one was a Godfather dogfighting. Okay, and the rest of them, I mean, they just didn't cut it. They either got hurt or they just I don't know whether it's a statistic or what. Mobile quarterbacks in this game do not last. Now, I know right now we're not going to probably get Trevor Lawrence most likely. Then there's Zach Wilson, and there's Justin Fields, and then there's Trey Lance. Now, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and I think Justin Fields, all 3 of them, you know, have had a shoulder surgery already. They throw from the right hand. They've all had a shoulder surgery. Trey Lance has really, when I heard he really hadn't played that many games, that made me wonder a little bit. Now, I heard a caller say Sunday night, Justin Fields is the real true it. But at the same time, he said, but I'll take into account when he played in the national championship, you know, when he had to go up against a stronger team, he got outdueled. And he happened to get outdueled by Mac Jones. And yeah, the Clemson game, he came back and put up some astonishing numbers with a lot of the doggone Clemson Tigers that went to the draft the year before. So they didn't have the greatest team. But at the end of the day, the caller said he didn't play against that good. He played against a strong defense and a strong team. Well, what do you think is going to happen in the NFL? Okay, when teams are picking the cream of the crop when it comes to players. You understand? What do we expect to happen with him then? I'm telling you right now, all of them are a project. I'm not going to stop calling your program if I look up the 29th of April by the grace of God and I hear the 49ers select quarterback Mac Jones. I'm not going to lay down and go bananas over it because whoever they pick is going to sit. They're not going to take the job away from Jimmy as long as he can stay healthy. Now, if he gets hurt and it continues, that could be a different story. And we cannot say that how can they pay Garoppolo and pay this rookie? The rookie, we got that rookie the next 5 years, man, picking him that high in the draft.
That's right.
And if Jimmy, I can guarantee you right now, this has lit a real fire under Jimmy Garoppolo, bro.
That's
and as far as we look at them people that don't have the great measurables and don't show out in the combine and the pro days, well, let me just take you back on a little football history. Back in 2000, there was a player that ran a 5.28 in the combine in the 40-yard dash. He could barely lift 225 pounds. I think it was like 8 times he did it. Some of the scouts got up and said, you know what, let me go get a coffee and a muffin with some bacon chips banana chips in it or something. This guy ain't doing nothing. Now, that same guy got picked in the 6th round at 199. And guess who that guy happens to be that's been to 10 Super Bowls, okay? Ran a 5.28.
James
was overlooked because he didn't show out like all the glory boys in that year's draft. Yeah.
James, I love these stories. I could go on all night with these. These are fun, especially when you build them up. But we got to go, James.
It's not just stories. It's stats and truth, Ronbo.
What I mean is the stories of NFL's golden days gone by. I'm loving it. It's true.
It's the truth.
So
it's the truth. Brady was picked in the 6th round at 199. He's been to 10 Super Bowls. He wasn't accredited as the big flashy guys in 2000. But Ronbo, thank you for what you do. You and your staff. Niner Empire, Niner for life. Before they cut me off. Have a great evening. Thank you, man.
Thanks, James. Good night.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's some things that sometimes are not obvious about a quarterback, and there's other things that look obvious that are not. And Daniel's still, shout out to my man, OG Jacuzzi James. And Daniel, thanks for the contribution. Daryl.
Ronbo, what's up, man?
Daryl, man, I just sitting there pre-draft fun. It's one of the draft and, that's after the draft, it's downhill until we find out the guys are in camp and working out. But between now and the draft, man, this is fun stuff, man, because, Mac Jones may have been nervous as hell today. Mac Jones looked like, from what everybody's saying, is absolute garbage. I see Mac Jones make a couple of throws. I watched them because I'm always busy. And Jones, and I see Devonta Smith catch one that was coming downfield. Now, people are saying they had to slow down a little bit. But Jesus Christ, the ball was a moonshiner. That ball was up at least, now I know I hit the roof because I missed that shot. That ball was up for 15 minutes and finally landed like one of them Russell Wilson touch shots. Smith did have to slow down a tad, but it wasn't all that bad. And, so I'm saying it doesn't look like Mac Jones because it looks clearly obvious that he's the most pro-ready by some standards. But by those who love that mobile quarterback, please take Mac Jones out of here, put him on the back of the bus, tie him up, and make sure that bus does not know he's back there and keep riding. So, Daryl, where's your mindset? Is it going to Mac Jones or do who you have in mind? Anybody?
Well, a couple of things, Ronbo. Number one, the previous caller, James, pointed out some things about how mobile quarterbacks end up getting hurt. And I just want to dispel that misnomer. Actually, statistically, you will find that more quarterbacks actually get hurt in the pocket than they do actually outside of the pocket. If you look over the last few years and you look at some of the injuries like last year, when Drew Brees got sacked by, I forget the player for the 49ers. He was in the pocket. When Aaron Rodgers got his collarbone broken twice, he was in the pocket. When Tom Brady tore his ACL, where was he? He was in the pocket.
He's always there.
There are more injuries that actually happen inside the pocket than they do outside the pocket. So this whole misnomer about mobile quarterbacks not lasting, that's just not true. Russell Wilson runs for his life every single game and hasn't missed one yet.
But yeah, he's one of the best I've ever seen, though. Wilson never gets hurt. He got hurt that one time 2-3 years ago when our edge rusher tackled him high and hurt his neck. But that's the last time I've ever seen him get hurt.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's just a misnomer. The second thing I want to say is do you remember? Let's go back a few years ago, and let's go back to a school called LSU. And let's go back to a time when Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. were playing, and they played with a certain quarterback named Zach Mettenberger. And if you remember how easy it was to play quarterback at LSU during that time, where all he had to do was throw it up, and he had those two beasts that could go and just get it because they got separation on their defenders like crazy. And if you go back and you watch now, come up a bit and watch now this Mac Jones. If you watch these the filming on him, you will watch either Jarrell, I forget the one guy's name, Woodley, or you would watch Devontae Smith. Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith, or even some of the other receivers.
McKee,
each time he had to go
is.
to them.
McKee? Yeah, that dude, man.
Yeah, they
got a wide
they
receiver
had
group.
at least, but they had at least 2 steps on their man each and every time, or they got at least 2 yards of separation from their defender each and every time. So they made playing quarterback very easy. And then on top of that, you have Najee Harris, who's one of the better running backs coming out of college football, who can catch the ball out of the backfield, block. You have a great offensive line. He pretty much had a smorgasbord in order to play the quarterback position. Now, the year before, if you go back before last year, the year before when he took over for Tua, when Tua injured his hip, if you remember, he looked like he was barely a 5th-round draft pick. And, I mean, you know, and you got to take it from someone who's from Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I was born and raised.
All right.
He played high school football at Bowles High School, which is in Jacksonville, Florida, my hometown. And if a hometown guy like me doesn't want the guy, that should say something right there. I just don't. And looking at today was just confirmation of what I've already been studying, what I've already been analyzing from some of the film that I watched.
Okay.
I don't think that his arm is quite strong enough. Some of his throws, he was missing them, especially the long balls.
Is that Jones you're talking about?
Mac Jones.
Yeah.
And some of the throws that were deep, you know, they were kind of like either missing their mark, he was overhitting them, and it gave me flashbacks of the Super Bowl. I'm like, this looks like Jimmy G all over again. You really don't want that. So I would say, for me personally, I go towards Fields. I talked about Fields on Sunday night, and I talk about him now. I just think that guy just has that.
I just want to ask you about that. Have you seen Fields go downfield deep and hit every last shot?
When I've looked at him on film, I've seen him hit some people, and he's hit them in stride. And he's hit some long balls. He has a lot of accuracy on the long ball, which that would actually bring Shanahan's offense to life. We could actually have someone go deep. If you remember all of the tape, all of the writing that's been going on about Jimmy G for the past couple of years in training camp is he's having trouble in the deep ball. He's having trouble in the deep ball. Even when we faced remember we faced the LA Rams? It was like in our Super Bowl season. We faced them late in the season. And Jimmy G threw on like a 4th and 16. He threw a fluttery ball. And it just so happened that the receiver was open, but he underthrew him. The receiver caught the ball, and it helped us hit a field goal in order to win that game.
We're gonna, Daryl, I know you're thinking, but we're gonna run out of time here. Let's continue this weekend. All right, get back in here. We'll talk more. Okay. All right.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, Joe. Have a good night. And here we go now to the owl.
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
D-man. As a drama builds before April 29th, there's going to be and we're just getting into the first chapter of our saga between now and April 29th, which is going to be really amazing how things develop in the next couple of weeks. But Mac Jones is on the menu right now to be skewered or barbecued or sauteed. So as the media keeps leaning toward the Mac man and putting him together with Kyle, even though everybody says, come on, man, get Mac Jones out of here. See, D, where are you on all this madness?
Man, I'm actually stressed out right now. I'm watching UCLA and Michigan. UCLA is up 51-49 with 0.5 seconds in the second half. I need UCLA to win this, man. Fan? Oh, I need him to go. Oh, diehard UCLA fan.
It's tradition.
Bruins all day, every day.
Yeah, UCLA will win.
It's very simple, man. When Kyle said that Jimmy was
a little upset or bothered by this. Man, Jimmy should be kicking and throwing and breaking everything in his goddamn house. Okay? There ain't no way in hell for the last couple of years you've been telling me I'm not good enough. I got you to the Super Bowl when I was healthy. Next year I wound up getting injured. And then you turn around and go all the way up to 3. You trade away a bunch of draft stock. I got to see this crap. Then you going to call me and tell me everything is okay. Don't worry. We're still going forward with you. Hell no. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come in. I'm going to ball out. And when I ball out, you're going to want to trade me next year and go ahead and move on. This is a truthful, I'm telling you right now, this is truthfully a Pat Mahomes and Alex Smith situation. Because the only other difference is this could turn into a Jimmy G / Brian Hoyer and C.J. Beathard situation, where if he winds up getting injured and say the guy has been Jesus Christ, man, my boy won't stop calling me. He's freaking me out. But basically, it's a situation where, we in there, man. We did it. UCLA is going to the Final Four, baby. That's what I'm
tradition.
talking about.
UCLA does not lose in these tournaments.
Let's go.
It's the ghost of Wooden.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Final Four, here we come. Let's go. I got the Westbrook jersey on and everything. Let's go. Let's go. UCLA wins, baby. Go home, Michigan. Go home, Juwan Howard. Ain't nothing going on tonight. But, man, at the end of the day, it's very simple. Jimmy should be pissed. Jimmy should ball out. Yeah. The only way that you see Jimmy gone from this squad is if we trade him before or on the day of the draft. That's basically how that would work. Mm-hmm. So, for us, we know ahead of time that we basically are saying, yeah, we can, kind of Alex Smith, Pat Mahomes this if we want to. But there's nothing that you can really do because Jimmy knows at the end of the day, if I get injured, then whoever this young rookie is, depending on how far into the season, I may not get my job back.
Yeah.
You got to think about that. He might basically be looking at it like that. And the only other thing I don't like is, Kyle, I love you, but get over Kirk Cousins, bro. Get over
Are you still hearing Kirk's name being mentioned?
Get over it, bro. I'm so tired of. Did you not see the presser on Monday?
I thought I heard him say it's ridiculous to think that I'm looking for another.
He was just no. And then he went on a little rant about Kirk Cousins and Kirk this and Kirk that. Look, come on,
I
bro.
Gotta go back and watch the whole thing.
You didn't get Kirk. You didn't get Kirk. Call it a day, bro. No one cares. All right. And anybody would be lucky to have Kirk. Like they're winning in Minnesota. What have they won? Where have they went? What have they done?
Nowhere. And
they get him at $84 million, and he ain't brought him a damn thing. But what? 1 or 2 playoff berths?
And he's had some awesome
you ain't
offensive
doing
weapons.
Nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, like you ain't doing nothing. Come on, man. Ain't nobody gonna win with Kirk Cousins. He's worthless. Yeah. I'm sorry. So for me, Kyle, get off Kirk Cousins' nuts because you're doing the most. I'm sorry, you really are. You all over him. And then at the same time, Jimmy, be pissed off and ball out. That's your only option. Because if you don't ball out and you get 6 games into the season and say we 2-4, and they say, you know what, we ain't got time for this no more. Whoever this rookie is, we drafted. Right he's had enough time to learn enough of the system. I can make it vanilla just like I did for Jimmy when he came in for CJ when he got hurt when we played Seattle, and we'll go ahead and move forward with him. I'm not going to keep tolerating it. But basically, they told Jimmy straight up 100. Look, we're tired of your inconsistent quarterback play, and we're tired of the injury history. So you either stay fully healthy and get the job done, or basically we're giving away your job.
Yeah. And
your ass is on the line.
And hopefully this rookie that comes in has got the skills that people think he has. That's worrying me more than anything. Jimmy,
because we don't know who.
But that newbie.
You're right.
Yeah.
So, we don't know. Yeah, because we don't know who it's going to be. We don't know whether we don't know what the draft order is going to be like. We assume Lawrence is going 1. We assume Wilson's going 2. But hey, we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go.
All right, brother. Hey, man. Appreciate you, Ronbo.
Congrats on UCLA. All right, Bill.
Hey, man. Hey, to all y'all out there listening, UCLA the Final Four, baby. All we got to do is go ahead and beat Gonzaga, and then we go to the national championship, baby.
Look at him.
Good night, Ronbo. Love you, brother.
Back at you, fam. Looking forward to hearing from you. All right. Night D. Oh, God. These are the best of both worlds. Too bad we weren't already in the season, too. Victor Andrews, he says, out of 16 games, you need your quarterback to win at least 6 of those games. Jimmy won 7, number 2 times Arizona. Green Bay, Rams, Steelers, Seahawks, and number in 2019, a rook, and just being nice will only win 3. Keep Jimmy and sit the rook. Yeah, and Victor Andrews, thanks for that contribution. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan's offense, what people got to understand, and what's going to be worrisome, actually for me as well, Shanahan doesn't want you coming in with so much ego that you're just going to run the offense like you think you want to run it. You've got to be able to do your homework. You've got to be able to run Shanahan's offense because his mind is such that if you run my offense, you'll win. If you run your offense, we're going to lose, and I'm not having it. So everybody said, we want a quarterback that can think of zones out there and can improvise immediately should things break down. Oh, it doesn't work like that with him.
Really? Hey. Stacy.
Santana.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing?
Santana, man, I'm doing all right, man. I got insurances that they're going to put my boy back out there for at least one more year. I'm delighted. But Santana, the biggest joke is who are the 49ers going to pick up at number 3? And also, this thing about Mac Jones and Kyle Shanahan being connected at the hip by analysts with big names and reputations saying,
oh my God,
I mean, is this for real? Are you, what are you thinking?
Look, Ronbo, I'm going to tell you something, man. You know when, did Mitchell Trubisky come out the year Watson came out? He did, right?
Yeah.
And I think he did, right?
And not only Watson, a couple other stars.
The media, dude, boosted up Mitchell Trubisky's fucking stock. I'm sorry for swearing. And they boosted him up, and he went first, I think, right?
Second.
Deshaun Watson did go into like 12th pick overall. So,
if that.
I mean, I'm seeing the same thing over and over. What I saw from that draft, they're boosting Mac Jones' draft. They're trying to figure out anything they can say to boost his stock so he can go whatever. I don't believe for one chance he's the third pick overall. There's no way I just can't. I'm gonna tell you what, Ronbo. I mean, the kid is good. He's good, but he's
but look who he was playing with. Is he really that good? Because that boy had some serious artillery.
I mean, you put Justin Fields with Alabama. See if he doesn't win a national, title too, and I mean, look, I mean, that's what I'm saying. He had Najee Harris. He had like I said,
look at his wide receiver group. Oh my Lord!
No, that's what. And I heard a caller say that every single time there was a wide receiver that was open by 2 to 3 feet, or 2 to 3 yards. Mm-hmm. That's true. At least 2 of them always open. So. And it was every single highlight that I watched, whatever, and it was the same thing. And I mean, I've gotten in arguments on YouTube with people saying the same thing. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? He's a genius. He can read defense. His wide receivers are open by like 5 yards or more all the time, And I mean, he's in a good system too as well with Alabama. And I mean, come on, man.
And Saban, you can't play football for Saban unless your route running can cut paper on them cuts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, they get, what's his name, Ridley and guys like that. This is all Saban. That's all he brings to Alabama. So that's why I'm saying, that's just unfair.
Nah, and look. Okay, so from what I heard from Justin Fields, he started at Georgia, but he left Georgia because of politics. Meaning, there was everybody knew that Justin Fields was better than Jake Fromm or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
And so he transferred to Ohio State where he started, and I mean Justin Fields, man, I think he's the best quarterback in the draft for me, from what I've seen. I mean, I'm no QB expert, but from my opinion, from what I see, eyes don't lie. You know what I'm saying, Ronbo? And and from what I see, the guy can throw. He's like I said, he's 6'4", 230. Ran a 4.4.
I didn't know he was that big.
He's 6'4". And he ran a 4.4. And Ronbo, he has a cannon. He has an arm, and I see, and people say that he can't read defenses and nothing like that. Yeah, he did, because he shredded Clemson.
That is said about every quarterback, whether it's true or not. People jump to that. If they see a guy make one wrong read, he can't read a defense. If they see a guy miss one deep pass, he can't play the deep ball. But go ahead.
And Ronbo, and you know what? This guy, in the Clemson game, he got hit by a linebacker right in the ribs. He came back the next play and threw a touchdown, Ronbo. Yeah. And people want to maybe say, he lost to the Alabama game in the Nationals championship, but I'm pretty sure he was injured. He probably played at maybe, so
80%.
So I mean,
70%.
80%, exactly, 70-80%. And I'm not, so not throwing excuses on the kid, but I think he's a stud. And anything that happened in college, Ronbo,
it's hard to play hurt.
Yeah, he's a stud. And you don't trade. All right, just put it this way: anybody who's listening to the chat, do you think Mac Jones is considered, giving up 3 first rounds? No. I'm the way I see it is that the Niners, drafted up to get a guy like a Justin Fields, a Zach Wilson, something different.
And they also, any one of these guys we're talking about, Zach, Justin, Trey, because when you trade up that position, you're taking anything because you're in the third position. So you're going to take the top 5. Any one of the top 5 you got picked out. But we got to go for him.
And all right, and Rama, one more thing, and anybody that likes Mac Jones, you guys probably like, I mean, he's, like I said, he's good, but I mean, he's just not it. We could have got him in the 12th round, to be honest.
You got him at 12 easily from what I'm seeing on his mock drafts.
But Justin Fields all the way, Rombo. Justin Fields is my guy, and I hope we get him.
Let's
go.
Becoming
Niners
people's
all
choice.
day, baby. Let's go.
All right. Accent, gentlemen. We're going to see you.
Rombo.
All right, fam. Have a good night. And Tony Nagatani out of the blue waters of Hawaii. Tony says Cal will draft Fields or Lance to sit behind Jimmy till they're ready. If they're ready before week 9, Jimmy will be traded to the Bears for Khalil Mack. I wonder if the Bears would be interested in that kind of a deal. Can you imagine Khalil Mack, Nick Bosa coming off the edges? Teams will call in advance and say, guys, we don't want to play. We're going to move on and go ahead and take that game. Hey, Lee. Lee.
Yo, what up, Ronbo?
Lee.
What did I tell you, Ronbo? What did I tell you?
I know.
Who's the quarterback to move up for?
Yeah, it's got to be
Black Zeus, Ronbo.
The way everybody's talking.
I've nicknamed him this year, Black Zeus.
I like that.
You know he was 6'4". You know why he's Black Zeus, Ronbo?
How come?
6'4", and he runs that 4.4 when he tripped over.
That's godlike. So you got it. Zeus is a god of, Valhalla proportions. So yeah. Or just Mount Olympus.
You know I'm calling him Black
Valhalla's
Zeus,
Nordic.
Ronbo?
That's right.
Because he throws lightning bolts and he runs like lightning.
Did Valhalla's the place? He stores Odin's son. Yes.
I think last time I talked to you, Rombo, I was worried because I was worried that Kyle will go with his prototype, go with the pocket passing, Kirk Cousins, sharp kind of quarterback that he's had in the past, like Matt Ryan's and stuff.
Yeah.
But remember I told you, the key thing is the pro days. You got to watch all the little things they do. And every day they're playing chess, Rombo, they're moving little pieces around. At first it was, John and Kyle were going to watch Bama. We'll send Peters to Ohio State. So we're splitting, no one knows what we're going to do, what the next move is,
moves,
and then you see him today, yeah, and he even said it in the presser too. I think the day after we talked, Rombo, you're trying not to give away what you're doing. And a lot of people, there's some people think it's Jones, some think it's Lance. They're very real quiet on Lance, and so you got to be careful. And I'm not saying it's who it is because I don't know who it is, but I'm hoping, like I said from day one, if you're going to move up, go for the high-end talent guy. Go for the guy with the highest ceiling. Go for the guy that can be a superstar, can be a Deshaun Watson, can be a Mahomes, you know. And it's that fella standing right behind me, Ronbo, Black Zeus. You know, we got to take him if he's at 3. You got to take Black Zeus. Did you see his pro day today, Ronbo?
No, I'm going to catch that later. But Lee, here's the thing. Wouldn't you love to be sitting in a room with Kyle Shanahan and see exactly his list of demands of a quarterback before he looks at him? He's very confusing. You know, you just because when Chris Sims speaks on him, it's kind of scary. Because if anybody knows him, it's Chris.
Because it's the day after we talked, remember, and then I said to you, man, I'm real worried they're going to take Mac Jones on me because, you know, it's that style. And then look, Chris Sims comes out the next day after we talk and he says, yeah, he's going to love Mac Jones, you know, and that's why he's the people like, oh, no, you know, Kyle's really given up 3 first-round picks in a 3rd round to move up for Mac Jones. You know, Mac Jones, if you take him, he might be, you know, he's got a high IQ. He's a good pocket passer. He can move in the pocket. He can make throws. He can throw into some tight windows. But as you've seen today, he had no pressure on him, Ronbo. He had no defense on him, and he was missing. He was missing. You know, and you know who was the star of his pro day today? It wasn't even him, Ronbo. It was wide receiver called the Slim Reaper. Remember the Slim Reaper? He had caught like his first 8 catches. He was making Jones look good out there today, and you know. He brought in the Slim Reaper, Devonta Smith. He brought in Najee Harris to catch all these passes, and they outshined him, Ronbo. Like, you don't give up your future for a guy like that. Like, all 4 we could know Jimmy could be better than Mac Jones. Are you really going to give your whole future for a guy that could be worse than the quarterback that you have in your team now? Like, he might be slightly better than Jimmy, but he might not be. You know what I mean? And that's a huge risk, eh? So that's why, man, you got to go for the high-end talent. You got to go deep. Yeah, and it's just
Chris
like, Ronbo, if you look at the past few years, right?
He might be cooperating with the 49ers. So, you know, Chris is probably putting it out there for a reason.
You never know. You never know, Ronbo. And it's the thing, like, if you remember last year, he said the reason he didn't say Brandon Ayuk was in his top 5 for his receivers was he didn't want to lead anyone on that. Like, Kyle was high in Ayuk. You know what I mean? And they play these little games sometimes, and you never know who's telling the truth. But I remember talking to the Shay the other day, and you know what he said to me, Ronbo? And it was actually really smart. He said to me, he goes, you know what, Lee? I think that they're just they moved up to 3 now because once Justin Fields has his pro day, he's going to kill it. He's going to kill it, and all these teams are going to want to move up to 3 because they know Lawrence and Wilson are probably going to go 1 and 2, and they're going to want to get him. And he just killed his pro day today, Ronbo. You think about how many teams want Justin Fields now. So if they did that, I think Rob Lauder said that today. Shay seen Rob Lauder saying it, Ronbo. And Shay said it to me the other day. And, you know, if that's the thing, that's a smart move that we did, Ronbo?
They do it every year, Lee. Lee, we're going to roll. Let's see you this weekend. All right?
No worries, Ronbo. Thank you. Shout out to everyone. Black Zeus, baby. Throws those lightning bolts.
There you go. Lee's got his man. All right, Lee. Have a great night or a great day. And big boy Louise says Justin Fields is a dog. He's got that chip on his shoulder. We better take him or he'll make us sorry we didn't. Because where would Fields end up? Because I got a feeling the 49ers might be setting up the Jets to take Mac Jones. But hey, Don.
Ronbo, what's up, man? You can hear me?
Don, I can hear you loud and clear. And Don, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Ronbo. How you doing, man?
Oh, fabulous.
I got a couple of these. I got a couple of points. I've been writing points down since the whole time we've been over because it's some stuff I want to address. Like I said, I'm a film guru, a scout. You know, I should put my name as Dunn the Scout when I come in because I got some stuff that.
You're going to light us up.
And this one,
run it down.
I got a couple of points. You're going to be quick and you don't even take all the time. First of all, I want to clear up Mac Jones. No, he's a check down Charlie. Leave him alone. Leave Mac Jones alone. Second, the best quarterback who I've been said is Justin Fields. And this is why, Ronbo. This is why I say Justin Fields is the best quarterback. And Justin Fields has the highest ceiling, but he also has the highest floor. And what I mean by that, Ronbo, like he has the highest potential. But even if he don't live to his potential, his fall won't be as bad as those others either.
That's clever.
Another thing about Justin is 6'3", He's 227 pounds. He runs a 4.4. He's a big body guy. He can take those hits. He's tough. He's proven it. He played against the best. He played against Alabama. He did tremendously good against Alabama. And Alabama had the best team on defense and offense. You know, there's another reason I can't respect nothing about Mac Jones. He had the best of the best on both sides of the field. Another thing, Ronbo, I'm trying to run through these points fast because I know you got to go. They say Justin Fields sticks on to his reads. No, he doesn't stick on to his first read. If you really watch your film, you know what's going on. Ohio State runs what you call the route option offense. Some plays, he has to stare down the receiver because their receiver has an option route. He can either run this route or this route, and he's trying to see, like, which route is you going to run so I can know the route gives away the defense. So he sticks on to that to see what they run at Ohio State. Another point I want to make, him and Trevor Lawrence have been tied at the hip since high school. They've been 1 and 2 since high school, Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. Trevor Lawrence was the number 1 player. Justin Fields was the number 2 player. They went to a camp. Justin beat him. Justin won MVP. Justin became the number 1 player in the nation. He went to Georgia. Went to Clemson. He just started as a freshman, Justin. Then because they wanted from the start and build his legacy or whatever at Georgia and try to up his draft stock. Justin had a racial slur said to him. He transferred to Ohio State. Something playing wasn't nothing that he couldn't win the starting job or nothing like that. It wasn't nothing like that. And another thing I want to say, kill that Ohio State quarterback stuff. I hate to hear this. He's an Ohio State quarterback. Guess what, Ronbo? Yeah. Alabama corners are the same way because they always play behind a good defensive line. And guess what? They get to the NFL and they suck, but they don't stop people from taking Alabama corners.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's crazy. I hate when people talk about that. That's not real. I hate hearing their logic. Like, spread quarterback wasn't good until Mahomes came, and then the next year Baker came. So the spread quarterback myth got killed. My last point I want to make, Ronbo, and I get out of here, is about the Jets. What they saying about the Jets and the Niners, it's not that we didn't talk to the Jets because they said we didn't, but that's what they want to say, that we didn't talk to the Jets. When you know that's a lie. But anyway, this is what I've heard. The reason the Jets didn't trade with us at 12, Ronbo, because unlike the Dolphins, the Jets couldn't afford to go to 12. They had to stay in the top to get the player that they needed. They're more needy than the Dolphins. So basically what I think it was with the 49ers called the Jets were like, look, get up here and we'll talk. So the Niners got 3. If they're going to swap, they'll swap now because the Jets can afford to go to 12. Ooh. And like I said, I had my my last point, Ronbo, and I'm gone. I had my, what if ain't a point, it's just something I want to say. I had my disguise on recently, since we got the number 3 pick. I had my disguise on. I had my Jets hat on, my glasses with the fake nose and the fake mustache on, lurking in the Jets set. And what I've been hearing is the Jets fans, like you think everybody, they like us. These people, the Jets fans like Justin Fields, and they 50-50. They Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, and linemen. So it's like 33% everywhere. Some want the lineman, some want Fields, some want Zach Wilson. And from what the Jets that I've been in, the Jets stuff I've been watching, all of them want Justin Fields. So we could be picked Zach Wilson at 3, Ronbo. That's what
Cynthia Phelan agrees with you. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
All right, Don.
And that's the stuff I've been hearing, Ronbo. So for now, when I come, I know you're on time, so I'm gonna try to have my point. I'm getting here and try to give everybody the right information because I feel like I actually watch these players like as I scout them. Like I actually watch the film and stuff because like I'm a diehard Niner fan. I like to watch our players. And Ronbo, I'm out. And I want to give you this. Look at this player for me, Ronbo. He's my draft crush. His name is De'Ami Brown from North Carolina. He's a wide receiver. That's my draft crush. I want you to check him out. And then when I come this Friday, when we come Friday, I ask you about him. And I want you to look out.
All right, Don. We got to go, fam. I'll look for you Friday. De'Ami Brown, I'm on it. All right. All right, Don. Have a good night.
Y'all, thanks again to the production. Thank you for getting us this platform, Ronbo. I love to talk 49er football all day, every day, even when it ain't no football. And you give us that opportunity, and I think everybody should say that enough, even though I know we do.
All right, Todd. Thanks, fam. We really got to roll. All right. Shabazz!
Ronbo, like your timing is impeccable. I've been waiting first and foremost. Ain't nobody drafting Macaroni Jones, and I got to go back 6 callers ago.
Macaroni Jones.
James was very disrespectful to the scrambler, and he went far back as Michael Vick. I got 3 locked-in scramblers that's Hall of Famers right now. One is Aaron Rodgers. He mentioned Vick. Vick got drafted before Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was a scrambler in his early days, shooting Hall of Famer. Russell Wilson, number 2, and Pat Mahomes, who can go on the move and make things happen, number 3. First ballot Hall of Famers all the way. And I got 2 possibles trucking in the rear right now. That's Deshaun Watson. Hopefully he get his stuff together. We don't know about these allegations. And that's Kyler Murray, who's in our division, who we have to deal with. We have to deal with Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson. So all these fantasies about a Brady or Peyton Manning type quarterback is over with. Brady is the last of a unicorn pony, Mr. James. So get that madness out your head. They're not going to draft Mac Jones. If they did something like that, Ronbo, I've been a faithful since '81, and I'll continue to be a faithful. But I tell you what, all my tickets will be on sale this year because I will not fly up to the Bay to watch Mac Jones in the preseason at all. So that's settled. Number 3, man, I was so hot listening to that because he just dished all the scrambling quarterbacks that have been successful in the NFL, including Michael Vick. But it goes back to what the last caller just said. Maybe the Jets do pull gas and take Justin Fields, which comes back to my draft crush, Trey Lance. They're not going to take Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is a smokescreen. Like you said earlier, everybody said he's a diva. I enjoyed Fields' pro day today. I wouldn't mind having him if he fell to us at number 3. And he runs faster than the 4.4 because he did stumble out the block. So he probably like a 4.3.
He stumbled out and ran a 4.3?
Yeah.
I mean, 4.4?
He stumbled out and ran a 4. Yeah, he stumbled out the block. And when I saw him slinging today, yeah. And Shanahan has a history with him because he was at Shanahan's camp years ago. So Shanahan has a history with Fields. Yep. So they got some type of relationship going there. You're right about that. But I promise you this, Ronbo. Listen, if the Jets do pull a gun on Fields, then my draft crush will be getting drafted. It'll be Trey Lance, and I'll have my jersey before the preseason game. But I like those too. I don't think they're gonna get Zach Wilson at all. And you know what? They disrespected Trey Lance. Trey Lance didn't throw an interception at all in college football. He's talking about Mac Jones, who had that souped-up team, who had all those guys. Yeah, in Alabama. Trey Lance didn't throw an interception in college football. And everybody want to say it's a project. And last but not least, before I get out of here, to all the Jimmy lovers, I'm not the Jimmy lover, Ronbo.
Yeah.
The Bears might go for him on draft day. So don't be shocked.
And give up Khalil?
Don't be shocked. Either give up Khalil or either give up a draft pick because they still got a first-round pick. So let's just not be shocked. Because Jimmy might be mad. Jimmy, only other place he wanted to go besides coming to us is he's a Chicago boy. I'm a Chi-Town Niner fan. I got beat up by being a Niner fan. I told you these stories before, Ronbo and the faithful. He might want to go home. He might want to go to his team. So, hey, watch out there. And
but he might also want to put out his skills so he can get a good offer from somebody else if that is indeed in his future. So look out for Jimmy this year. Oh, look out!
And if he don't leave, I won't be mad, Rumbo. I won't be mad. I'll support him. I'll support anybody that's in the red and gold like us till I'm dead and gold. Shout out to you for doing what you doing. Your production staff, I appreciate it. Shout out to my man, the SoCal Lee, who's my boy, who's a Niner faithful, and we talk like almost every day. And if we don't talk every day, we just pay attention to different things. But hey, Rumbo, that's what it is. But your guy James, he was wrong about them scramblers because he conveniently left out Deshaun Watson. He left out Patrick Mahomes. He left out Russell Wilson, and he didn't mention the great Aaron Rodgers, who should have been our quarterback, by the way. But hey, I digress. We're not. And let me go on this. Mac Jones is Mr. Trubisky 2.0, guaranteed.
Probably
guaranteed. Whoever drafts Mac Jones is going to be very, very disappointed. But all right, Rumbo, I'm going to check in this weekend if I can.
All right, fam.
All right, man.
Talk to you later.
Peace.
Yeah, Mac Jones is, when you're sitting surrounded by royalty like he was on both sides of the field, that's kind of you got to look at that like, I don't know, Mac. What if the things were a little bit tougher? And there he is. He is Chill. Phil. Phil. Come on in, Phil.
Hey, Ronbo.
Phil,
So,
man, look.
I just want to say one thing, though.
All right.
Every one of these quarterbacks, when they walked out on the field, they were the better team. So, I mean, Alabama, yes, they had all these good players, but they were playing higher competition.
That's true.
And BYU was the best team on the field every time they walked out. And North Dakota State was way better than everybody that they walked out on. So, I mean, you just got to put it in perspective there. But
especially Bama. That's Phil. I do think Bama can actually compete and beat some teams in the NFL. They are ridiculously. But Saban is just. Where do they get these kids?
I mean, they get the best player at every position for sure. At least coming out of high school. But you know, they had Mac Jones at quarterback, so he's probably pretty good too if he's playing for Bama. But Bama doesn't have a good reputation of putting quarterbacks in the NFL, and neither does Ohio State. And so that kind of worries me a little bit. And, you know, I personally don't think we should have done this trade at all, personally. You know, when you know that Philly's willing to trade back to 12 and you only have to give up one first-rounder for that, could have saved yourself a future first-rounder and moved to 6 and still probably got Mac Jones. That's why I'm, you know, kind of thinking
Phil,
we overdid it.
Let me run this by because I'm dying to know what your answer would be on this. What was I watching? Somebody said the 49ers may have traded up to get that number 3 pick to trade it to the Houston Texans because Watson's stock has fallen to a place where they could actually pick him up and Houston would say, yeah, we'll take number 3.
We don't have any future first-rounders to go along with that.
That's what I fell back on. I'm thinking, you know what? There's no way because what are you going to surround him with now?
With all this stuff going on with Watson
and that's what I think.
He's going to go anywhere.
The 49ers aren't going to touch that. That's too much trouble and PR nightmare. But go ahead. I just want to see what you thought about that. Okay.
And the other thing is, you know, I personally think that maybe all 3 of these quarterbacks are busts. You know, Fields' problem is he doesn't really have a high IQ. He threw 6 interceptions. Yeah, only 6 in 7 games.
Really?
So that's almost 1 per game. That's too many interceptions. And, you know, Trey Lance, you don't even know what you're going to get because there's no tape. And he didn't throw a lot. So, yeah, I think he has the biggest upside, but he also has the potential for being a bust. And
all rookies do, though.
I'm hoping Zach, you know, the Jets be the Jets and draft some other than a quarterback. And
Slater and Sewell.
You know, and stay with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a possibility, but I'm not holding my breath. But I'm just glad we're keeping Jimmy. And I wouldn't give up Jimmy unless we got a first-round pick in exchange. So, and I don't think anybody's going to give up a first-round pick for Jimmy coming off the injuries.
And he's worth more than that right now.
He's got to put together a good year, and then he's going to be worth something next year.
Yeah.
And hopefully we got that problem. Because if he has a good year, we're going to be a winner. So,
because if he gets the Super Bowl next year and wins it, and we got that 6th ring, you know what, Phil? I will be open to anything. I don't care. I'd still like Jimmy because I really like him because of his attitude. But if the 49ers keep him for 2 years and let that rookie continue to train, I'll be delighted.
yeah. But, you know, he's just got to stay off the injuries.
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine. Yeah. But the whole team has to stay off the injuries.
We'll see. Amen. Yeah. Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah. That's my feeling. I wouldn't have done the trade at all. But if we're going to get a guy, I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably going to be Mac Jones because of Kyle's style. But
that's what
I know. You know, just hide the knives, hide the razor blades. There'll be a lot of broken TVs on April
draft night
30th. So, yeah.
But you know what we're going to say, Phil? We're going to say, you know what? We knew there was a possibility. Jesus, Kyle, you really did it. You know, everybody's going to be mad.
Yeah. It's going to make Sullivan T look like a saint.
We won't be laughing though, because it will be, it'll be funny later, but not at the moment.
Crying and laughing at the same time.
I know. Phil, we'll see this weekend,
right,
Phil.
Ronbo.
All right. Night, fam.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.
All righty. Bye. Hey, Charles. Charles.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Charles, man, we're sitting back here, and a lot of us are scared, and a lot of us are confident there's no way Kyle's going to pick up no Mac Jones. But at the same time, you don't know Kyle. And sometimes he does things you can't imagine. You don't even know what he's thinking. Charles, Mac Jones coming? Is Justin Fields coming? Who is coming to fill that QB void?
Well, like the last time I told you, I think Justin Fields, I think he's coming. But I think the 49ers, they're on, they've been talking up Jones, because a lot of people like Jones. A lot of people, like the Patriots, and there's a few other teams that like Jones. And so I'm sure the 49ers, I'm sure they probably trade back to fourth, fifth, or even the sixth position to get the quarterback.
Gain a first round pick and then go for whoever they want. Because they can get Jones at as low as number 15. Well, Belichick's at 15. Can't trust Belichick. But you could go way down if you're really serious about Jones. True.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be Fields. I mean, this guy, he can do any and everything. I think I'm really excited about this. I hate we gave up so much, but I'm not the one calling the shots, so I just but I'm really excited, man. I really think it's gonna be Fields, and I really hope it's not. I hope it's not Jones, especially not that early. It's just because we don't really know what Jones has to offer. Jones, he was protected by the best offensive line, the best defense, the fastest wide receivers in the NCAA,
and more than one.
So what do you really know about him? Because the 49ers, oftentimes your wide receivers, they're not going to be open. When you're ready to throw the ball, they're not going to be open. And so what are you going to do? So if he came from, I know he came from Arkansas before he went to Alabama. But when you're used to your wide receivers being as fast as Weddle and Smith, what are you gonna do? So
relax. This is what you're gonna do.
But I do like his accuracy. I like that. I think he's the most one of the most accurate. But he's
Charles. Did you watch his pro day today? I mean,
I didn't watch it today.
I watched for a couple of minutes. I saw him hit Devontae's I'm not even surprised. I walked away. Now everybody says he just looked like ass out there most of the time, and I didn't even see it. Boy was hitting all up on top of the roof of the stadium. What? Really? So I'm shocked at what I'm hearing now. So I thought he was accurate. All those things you're talking about too. So I quit watching after I seen that shot.
Hey, I got a draft name. I don't know if you know who this guy is, man, but I think he's faster than Weddle. I think he's faster than Smith from Alabama, man. His name is Marquez Stevenson.
See, these are the guys that Kyle scouts all know about too. The ones that nobody's talking about. Houston, you ought to check him out. If you check him out, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. How big is he? Because he got to be bigger than Devontae. Devontae's too teeny.
He's 6 foot, and he's 205 pounds.
As soon as you said 200, yes.
But he runs like the wide receiver from Kansas City. The boy
Tyreek?
He runs like Tyreek. I'm telling you. No, and nobody's talking about him because he attended school at the University of Houston. But when you see him run,
only some divisions get celebrated. You're right.
Look, when you see him run, you're gonna know. You're gonna know that he's one of the fastest ones in the draft. This guy is amazing. He's amazing, man. So I hate how they put these power universities at the top all the time, and it's they're not the best talent. I can tell you that.
And Charles, that's such a good point, because I get the feeling sometimes the universities pour money into the NFL just to make sure that they spotlight in their program. So now if I'm a talented kid, then I'm going to Bama, I'm going to LSU, I'm going to all those schools in the SEC, because I know they're going to get the most spotlight the whole year. It's true. It's something that's wrong.
Hey, Ronbo, I got something. Ronbo, think about this. Within the past 5 years, we're talking about the draft, the 49ers have picked majority of their players from the Pac-10. I think I'm saying the Pac-10 or the Pac-12. Does the 49ers, do they have a contract with the Pac-10? because all of their players come from that particular conference. So I'm like, are the 49ers pulling for players to come out of the, I think they probably do, because just think about that.
Charles, we're going to run out of time before you develop that. We're out of time. But Charles, let's talk about that next time, because I like that conversation. I've always wondered about the conferences and who their affiliations might be that is being kept quiet. But let's get into that later. All right, fam.
Okay. All right.
We'll see you this weekend if you get a chance. All right.
Okay. All right.
Because the SEC and their affiliation in Bama, we got Ruben, though. Hey, is that Norm? Get in there, Norm, and tell us what it is.
Do you know what today is? It's Niners all day.
You've worked on that.
Even on days when I know y'all gonna get on the conversation like, you can't sing. Because y'all get on the conversation and say anything.
Has that ever bothered you before? People tell me I can't sing all the time. What? I'm singing all the time. I never stop.
What bothers me? What people say? Not as long as it's Niners all day. Speaking of days, right? This isn't even the Niners day all day. This is the type of day that I'm Niners all day about. What happened yesterday, Ronbo?
With Shanahan making him and Kyle making an announcement
with the press conference, because everybody's been all the news I've been hearing about the future of this franchise is coming from outside of the franchise. So I'm like, should I really pay attention to that? So then I come home from work yesterday, and the news from inside the franchise is on the actual news. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, I'm a little too wild about that, because
I'm wild with you, man.
I'm so excited about news. I'm so excited about news from inside the franchise versus news from people who tap in and get whatever information they get when they dip their toe in the water in the pool. I want to know who's actually operating the pool, not who just knows how cold the pool is. Okay, thank you. Anyway, speaking of which, so the press conference yesterday, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan was saying they're going to get a quarterback with this 3rd round pick. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Tell them the truth. Yes.
Yeah. So, the fans, because, the fans, like the people on the group page, like, remember I told you I got removed from a group page? Well, they called me back. It was like, yo, no, we got the 3rd round pick. How you feel about that? You know what, they're getting a quarterback. We want to know how you feel about that. I said, can you wait till I get home? So when I got home, I got to actually analyze how I felt. And it's like, okay, that's exactly what the Niners franchise was trying to do that this offseason, was strengthen the quarterback position. Kind of the same way the Chiefs should have strengthened a tackle division in the Super Bowl. You feel me? Like, when they see what happened. You see what happened when both of their tackles went just down, and see what happened with the Buccaneers defense was like, we're going to get ice cream. Yeah, it was like the ice cream was outside, bro. Like, so the Niners was like, what would you do? Because everybody in the locker room is just they love Jimmy so much. But what happens if you can't love Jimmy so much that you can get him out them crutches and on the field to win us the Super Bowl? What if you got to have somebody else right there? Because Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard, bless both their hearts, but it's like when Jimmy G went down, who could step in? Like, because Jimmy G's been in this situation before. Y'all remember? That guy that came from Eastern Illinois University? Like, who was worried about Eastern Illinois during this draft when Jimmy G got picked up by the Patriots? When they had Tom Brady. Okay, when they had Tom Brady, the guy. You feel? I know y'all hate hearing that name, Jimmy G. I don't care, okay? Because he's on the team. And everybody that y'all been speculating about, like y'all be accusing people that like Jimmy G. Y'all love Jimmy G so much, but y'all loving quarterbacks who are not on the team yet. The same way that you. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. But Jimmy G's been in this situation before where, you know, when Kyle Shanahan was like, we talked to Jimmy G about this as soon as the first person that they told was Jimmy G. Not you, not Mac Macchio, not these people that are outside the franchise where y'all get y'all news from. They told Jimmy G first.
Mm-hmm. And he told everybody they did too.
And I was jealous because I'm like, well, you couldn't tell me first so that I can at least laugh at these other people that's been trying to get that laugh at me. Anyway, but we'll get past that. They told Jimmy D that was like, he said, oh, welcome competition. He's been in this position before. He came from Eastern Illinois and had to compete against Tom Brady. Now, I will never compare Jimmy Garoppolo with Tom Brady. That's like comparing a fish to a shark.
The fear factor. Jimmy has no fear of these people.
That's like
He's already
comparing
dealt
baby
with Tom.
shark. That's like comparing, because y'all want to act like kids when y'all get on here. So a lot of y'all, not everybody, but there's a few childlike figures that come on here sometimes. Anyway, so I'm talking to y'all. The same way you can't compare baby shark to his mama shark or his daddy shark or his grandpa or grandma shark is how you can't compare Jimmy G to Tom Brady. So knock it off, bro. This is the same position the 49ers want to put themselves in, because I feel that they have a very patriotic approach to rebuilding this franchise that was torn apart by everything that y'all laughing at. You know, the Jaguars, they got triple.
Norm. We got to wrap it up, though, Norm.
We're going to wrap it up. And I'm going to say it like this, man. Can y'all just pay attention to the one thing about the press conference that nobody ever paid attention to except me? John Lynch's hairline, because that's the only thing that's carried his career. Thank you. And it's not just all day.
There he goes. Norm, I'm looking for you this weekend. But speaking of vanity, man, how cool did Kyle look today? Kyle looked cool as could be, didn't he? My God. Brendan Murphy, hey, what's your thoughts on Justin Fields? And tomorrow's my birthday. I don't watch enough of Justin Fields to know. He sounds like a pretty courageous guy. If Lee likes him and so many like him, I got to believe he must be all that in a bag of chips. So, I've not heard Big Show endorse him yet, and that will be the dot on the I, Big Show. Hey, should we do Brandon? Brandon, why don't you? Well, I guess we got to do Brandon now. Let me pump up. Like Norm says, we don't care about how people feel about us singing. That's why we'll do it. Oh, 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 happy birthday, Brendan, tomorrow. Ooh, it's a Niner birthday. And to you, dear Brendan, may you have a Niner! Birthday to you. Thank you very much. Hey, and Green Glass Full says gonna be Zach Wilson, Ronbo. Could be, because the Jets gonna be the Jets, and we all know this. Well, we'll see. I have no preconceived notions on this. Hey, MGM, what's going on? Well, I hear some clicking and poppings.
MGM. What's up, Ronbo?
Fam, I'm doing all right, MGM. I ain't talked to you in a long time. How you doing?
Not bad. Feeling better now that we got this number 3 locked up.
Oh, we had that for a long while. MGM, you've heard the speculation. MGM, you got scratching going on. Is your mic touching anything?
You got me now?
Yeah, it's okay. It's clear now. Okay. Anyway, you know the situation. You got Mac Jones. All these analysts have him breathing down a red and gold neck. Is that a possibility, or is that just entertainment, theater, promoted by the media?
Feels like smoking windows here, Ronbo. Kyle's got his boy, Sims over there.
He's helping. You think he's
I
part of
don't
the
believe
plot?
that it's for sure, because I don't believe that Salah, all these conspiracy theories about Salah telling Kyle they're not taking Wilson. That I don't believe that for one bit, because he's not calling the shots over there. They got
True.
You got a new GM over there in the Jets, right?
Mm-hmm.
New coach, and you not, usually they want to pick their own guys, so they're not gonna ride with Darnold.
Hey,
usually they want their own quarterback.
Did you say the GM's new? Is the GM over in New York new too?
I'm gonna be off on that, but I believe the GM that they have didn't pick Darnold. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, and you might be right, because I'm not sure about that.
Current
I don't have any
GM of the
idea.
Jets.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you would think he'd work with his coach and see what his thinking is if he ain't got Balky in him. If he's not going to do a Trent Balky, I'm in charge there, and you just whatever talent I bring you, just go out there and develop it. I'll do my job. If you'll do your job, we'll be all right. It might not be like that. It's not like, because nobody's got the Kyle and John Lynch situation going on. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, to me, there's a lot of smoke screens going on. You can tell in the interview with Kyle and Lynch there that, they were talking about Kirk Cousins, right? So, yeah, I still love Kirk Cousins and all this. I think that's all smoke and mirrors.
Why did they do that?
Talk about a pocket. Everybody's saying that Kyle loves the pocket QB, right? He doesn't like these mobile guys. Right, I think that's he's just playing poker. I think he's going opposite. In the draft.
But MGM, there is one thing. Because I think the 49ers still kick themselves about Mahomes, because Mahomes has an outstanding pocket presence. Now he can also get out of trouble if he needs to. Right? Does Fields fit that same mold? Because you've got Kyle says, I don't mind a guy who can run, but I don't sacrifice that talent for having good pocket presence. So this is something we got to think about.
So to me, Trey Lance looks like the carbon copy of Mahomes to me. I know he's raw, okay, inexperienced, but the kid ran a pro style, drop back system over there in North Dakota State. He's not running the shotgun offense, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I like Trey Lance. To me, looks like a carbon copy of Mahomes, honestly. Which, well, I know he's the inexperience. I know everybody's talking about the inexperience. So that, the Fields history with the Shanahan quarterback camp
could come into question.
There's something there, right? So, it might, all signs could, be Fields, okay?
Yeah,
but
because he may be as good as he is because of Shanahan's teachings way back whenever. So yeah,
right. I know he's got heart. He's got heart, Ronbo, because that Clemson game when he can't,
got crushed.
The linebacker cracked his ribs.
Yeah.
He went. Yeah, he was running for the first down, and the linebacker just came and cracked the hell out of his ribs. And for sure that was fractured. And he came and he played through it.
Yeah.
He played through it, and he threw up like 5-6 touchdowns right in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scary stuff.
So that's
most vulnerable position on the field, the QB.
Right.
Well, MGM, good stuff. I enjoyed your perspective. Because Lance hasn't gotten a lot of love tonight. It's all about Fields so far. And
the highest ceiling is Lance. The highest ceiling is Lance, I believe. But all signs point to Fields. So
yeah,
I'll go with that as my safe bet.
And you're okay with that, right? So if Kyle picks him up on draft night, you're fine, huh? All right.
Then Mac Jones, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, prepared to Mac, of course. All right, fam. Hey, man, Jim, good to hear from you again. I haven't heard from you in a long time. See you this weekend if you get a chance, okay?
All right, Ronbo. Have a good night.
You too. And let's bring the first lady of TNT. She is Denise. Get in here, Denise.
What's up, Ronbo?
Denise, the Mac Jones mania that seems to be going through the NFL media, insisting on giving him to Kyle. And Kyle's not helping any by saying the things he's saying. So nobody knows what Kyle's going to do. And Kyle and John, as you know, have become some masters of deception. So Denise, have you figured things out yet?
No, but I can say that Mac Jones should have not thrown today. He should have left well enough alone because his pro day was awful. And he really, I think he hurt. I don't know if you can find it, but if you go on Twitter, someone captioned it or whatever. I don't know how to do that stuff on Twitter. I'm not that fancy, but anyways, there's a picture of Kyle Shanahan's face when he overthrew. And Kyle Shanahan's just looking like, are you effing kidding me?
Super Bowl.
His face. Yeah, I swear that's what the caption was. Is here's Kyle having Super Bowl flashback.
I've heard that. I didn't see the fact caption yet. It's on Twitter. Oh God, that's where that's coming from.
Yeah, he did not look good. One of the other callers said it, and it was true. His receivers and the running back, they totally shine. He just didn't do well. And so I think it's honestly, I even said everyone who knows that when I call in, I'm a huge Kyle Shanahan fan. But I literally said on Twitter, Kyle, if you draft Mac Jones, I swear to God, I'm going to be leading the train for you to be gone because I'm going to be like, you need to go get a CT scan. You've lost your mind.
He will have lost his mind or some brain matter has died. God. Well, Denise,
Kyle, are you sure someone didn't smack you around in the pocket? Because if you're picking Mac Jones, I don't know what the hell you're looking at.
God. Oh, maybe Kyle had a talk with Mac and said, Mac, listen, don't have your best day today. What? Listen, if you play your cards right and you want to be a 49er, go out there and put out a dismal show and you will be on my team. Could be a plot thickening.
I'm hoping not. Like I said, my thing is I agree. I'm wholeheartedly I hope we keep Jimmy because me personally, I like what Kansas City did. I like the rookie sitting and learning and developing and soaking it all in for a year and then getting out.
Yeah. There's no hurry.
I think Kansas City did it smart.
Yeah.
So, me personally, what did Lee say? I'm like, Lee, that was awesome, by the way. If you're listening, that was fantastic. The Black Zeus, I'm all for that tagline.
He came up with that. Was pretty awesome. Cool. Yeah.
He's like, let's go Black Zeus. I'm like, yes, Lee, awesome. Good job.
Would be fun if we're gonna give him a name along that line. You've got to give him a Nordic name now, because if he can't be Thor, so we got to give him something else. And it can't be Loki because Loki's a bad guy. Odin's children, all of them are not good people.
Exactly, and I just don't see. I agree. We gave up too. I don't think we gave up too much to get to 3 because I think that's what you have to give up if you're moving from 12 to 3. Yeah. I don't think, that they're going to be like, oh yeah, sure. Just swap us picks. You can have 3. We're good. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So I see why they did it, but you can't, there's no way you're going to draft Mac Jones. I'm sorry. Not if you move that far up. Everybody's in agreement. If he really wanted Mac Jones, he could have stayed at 12, maybe moved up to 7, 6, You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have to move up to 3 to get Mac Jones.
And see, the truth is not going to be, we have to wait all the way till April 29th. What was the method to this madness? You're right. Why? You guys gave up 2 first-round picks and a 3rd. Kyle, what are you doing? It better not be for Mac Jones, because if it is, there better be something attached to it. Because you don't need to go up that far to get Jones. So what is it?
Because
What's going on?
I think Dollar Bill Will said it too. Like, if you're going to go get Mac Jones, well, then you should just keep Jimmy.
Well,
I mean, I'm sorry, but if you're going to go draft someone like Mac Jones, you should just keep Jimmy then.
Or just wait until 12 and keep your draft picks and do something else, Or trade down and get a couple of picks, and then you can get your defensive lineman, your offensive lineman, who else you got in mind, and you still can have Jones. You can still have him. So that's what I'm saying. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm like, and I'm telling you, watch Twitter on draft day. If they say San Francisco selects Mac Jones, I swear to God, you're going to see people breaking TVs. People are going to go.
Your glass breaking in your neighbors' houses. I know. I used to live in an area off of Post Street that I could hear my neighbors every time the 49ers scored. And you could hear the boos and screaming because, exciting 49ers in San Francisco, people are crazy, right? So you can hear that yells and scream. You knew what was going on with the emotions. During draft night, same thing, Oh, Dick, good. You hear all these obscenities,
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's going to be freaking out. They'll be like, what the hell, Kyle? Yeah, and like I said, dude, I mean, everyone knows I love Kyle, but I'm telling you what, if they spent all this money and they walk away with Mac Jones, I am seriously going to lose some faith. I'm going to be like, Kyle.
You'll be okay.
Okay.
He'll explain.
I'm starting to believe what people are saying about you, Kyle. I'm
Denise,
starting to lose a little faith there, buddy.
We got to go, Denise. Always a pleasure. We'll be back this weekend looking for you, okay?
All right. Thanks, Ronbo. Everybody have a blessed night. Talk
too.
to everyone later.
Thanks, Denise. You
Bye-bye.
too. Looking forward. All right. Bye-bye. And we hop on over to Shay.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Shay, man.
What's up, Ronbo?
Yeah, we're just examining the media like we always do. Shay, the thing is, most of us know the media is full of poo-poo, but we go ahead and we review some of the things they say and, try to figure out why they would say that and stuff like that, because Chris Sims is the nail in the box. Chris Sims, I want to talk about, a lot of people don't understand, but I tell you right now, Mac Jones is a dark horse in this draft. And Chris's face is like, you're looking at him like, Chris, are you serious? So you can't believe, so what's going on, Shay? Is it Mac Jones or not?
I mean, I don't think it's Mac Jones, and I think every caller has reiterated before. Also, too, Rumble, quick, a little update. Actually, Jarrell Swift, an avid commentator in the chat, actually brought this out to me that Mac Jones actually has a DUI history. In 2017, he was arrested on
somebody
DUI
posted
charges
that yesterday too on
for
Twitter.
drinking on.
29.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. 2017. So I thought that was pretty interesting that he has that type of background. I don't want to give too much away because I am doing my Twitter GM Friday.
How old is Mac
but
Jones?
I'll say this.
He was driving around drunk in 2017? Okay,
yeah. So weird, but Ronbo, I think Chris Sims is going to say what Chris Sims does. I mean, I remember last year he didn't bring up Ayuk at all when he knew that it was a Kyle guy, and he even said he didn't bring it up because he knew Kyle liked him. So it's like, well, why the hell are you bringing up Mac Jones so much? And why are you bringing up Mac Jones so much if you want to help your friend out? And remember, I think the 49ers did move up to 3, so, I mean, I think it's okay to be out there now. Now Kyle's going to all these camps and whatever. But you have to remember, for instance, I don't think Zach Wilson makes it past the Jets because you got to remember, the 49ers were working on this since early March, right? And now we're almost in April and trying to get a deal done. But you don't think they started at 2 and try to move their way up, right? You start at the ladder, right? You start at 2 and try to see how long it takes you to get a deal done. And obviously they stopped at 3 with Dolphins because the Dolphins were like, we like Tua. So to me, if the Jets weren't going to move for 3 first-round picks
and a future third, then to me it just means that no, they want to take a quarterback, because that's the only reason why I would think you wouldn't want to take 3 first-round picks, right?
Shay,
So
you did hear, though, that somebody said the 49ers never even approached the Jets. Do you believe that?
I don't. I think that's why they came to the conclusion that the Jets were going to take a quarterback, so they liked another quarterback, or they like the guy that they liked as much as Wilson or whoever they think the Jets are going to take. But now I'm not so sure after Justin Fields' pro day, and I know Lee shouted out that I had like a theory that they moved up, because it wasn't even for Justin Fields. It was just because all we have is pro day. We don't really have a combine, so everybody's seeing these guys at their pro days, and to me it made sense that you want to move up after the last guy who throws his pro day, which was, the top out of the top 5 guys. It was Fields was the last one. I know he's going to do another one, but he was going to be the last one. So I think that once everybody saw the quarterbacks, the price was just going to go up, because it's like, okay, we saw his pro day. We like what he's doing. Because, we already saw Trey Lance. We just saw Mac Jones twice. And then we saw Zach Wilson on Saturday, and Fields was going to be the last guy. And I'm thinking that I'm not saying it's just for Fields, Ron, but I'm just saying in general that before the quarterbacks finished or all the pro days were done, that teams were going to be like, oh, man, we saw this guy. Oh, we have to go get him now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you can't tell me that the Zach stock didn't rise after his pro day when he was throwing all these cross-body throws. And Fields is doing the same thing. But you know what I mean? So I think the Niners would have paid more if they waited longer or waited till the draft to do it. So, like I said, I feel like what Chris Sims is saying to me is just, I feel like, he's saying one thing, but, remember when Kyle said that he would have taken Josh Allen if Josh Allen came out a year earlier. Well, does Mac Jones look at all like Josh Allen? No. When Josh Allen was coming out in the draft, he was the strongest. Trey Lance does. But I would say Justin Fields, too. Justin Fields runs the 4.4. He's fast. But remember, Josh Allen wasn't accurate coming out of Wyoming. He had like a 50% completion percentage.
Oh, yeah,
and
he was awful.
He built right. He was awful, but he had the arm talent and he had the mobility. But
biggest arm
Kyle
in the
was like, "Hey, that's my guy."
Yeah.
That's not Kirk Cousins' mold. That ain't Mac Jones. So I just don't think you base your future or you give up 3 first rounds for a guy like Mac Jones. And like I said, I could be wrong. And if that's Kyle's guy, then ultimately we all have to suck it up. But my thing is like, we have Garoppolo. I think Garoppolo with more maturity might beat out Mac Jones. I don't think Garoppolo is lesser than Mac Jones. So my thing is like, you go to get a guy with a higher ceiling that could potentially be better than Garoppolo was, right?
You should.
And to me, that doesn't say Mac Jones at all. That just doesn't say Mac Jones at all. So that's to me, that's my 2 cents.
So if Zach Wilson, if the Jets do for some reason get all worried and say, listen, we're moving in another direction. What? We're not taking Zach. What are we doing? We're taking Fields.
Right.
This a lot of times every year somebody gets made a fool of, right? So what is going to be your choice for draft night?
Well, I feel like it's between I think it's between Zach, Fields, and Lance. And like Ronbo, I know like if anybody tells you that they value all the quarterbacks the same, they're lying to you. But I think they like all the quarterbacks generally the same. That if the Jets take one of their guys, they're happy with the other two. Or
B,
if another guy falls right. So like if it's Fields to the Jets and Wilson to the Niners or Lance to the Niners, they'll be happy with it. Or if it's Wilson to the Jets and Lance or Fields to the Niners, they'll still be happy with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's ultimately why the 49ers end up moving to the 3rd spot. So, but we'll see. I mean, go ahead, Rumble.
No, I was just saying, because you look at the fact that Goff and Wentz were available at 1 and 2. You wonder if indeed Philly wanted Wentz, and did the Rams? Well, the Rams obviously wanted Goff because they got picked him first. But did the Eagles maybe think about wanting Goff? They would have taken either guy. I think we're in the same situation now, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens and who wins.
No, Rumble, that's a perfect analogy. I think so too. They didn't know, and it just so happened the Rams took the Goff, and Eagles ended up getting Wentz, and you know what I mean? It just shaped out that way. So, but all right, Rumble, shout out to all my TNT brothers in the chat, all my guys. See you Friday, Rumble. I'll be sure to send the email in and all that stuff in.
Good. And hurry, say like I told you in the note. All right, fam.
And then I will, Rumble. I'll type it all out tonight.
All right. St. Louis coming up this weekend for the Red Gold GM. All right, fam. See you then.
Yes, sir. All right, take it easy, Rumble.
Thanks, fam. You too. And Clarence Molina, he says, I'm telling you, during the Wilson Pro Day, trade we went down. It's either Wilson, Fields, Lance, Lynch had deja vu from 2017, not making same mistake. Could be right, Clarence. Could be. Let's, what else we got on here? Oh, we got another micro to read. That's Clarence. We already did Clarence. Where we at here? Okay. Get your groove on says, unlike Deshaun, my worry is Jimmy can choose not to play and ask for a trade. Ain't no porn star will file a harassment lawsuit. They love Jimmy G. Thanks for contribution. These guys' private lives are always in the way of things. And now we're hearing about what's his name in a DUI. Hey, and now it is, without any further ado, forget about it. It's not a Mike.
Oh, forget about it, Ronbo. How the hell are you tonight? Over there in the Ronbo facility, you in production. How's it going, Ronbo?
Air conditioned, to be exact. Telling you right now, Mike, it's a wonderful day. As you know, I got some news that I know you don't appreciate, but I'm loving it. As you know, Kyle and John have told a lie on 2 different venues, and there's no way they got that in sync like that and told a lie. Hey! Forget about it, Mike G, for one more year. That's all I wanted to know. Just don't start my year with the friggin' rookie.
All right,
I want to get Super Bowl.
All right, Ronbo. Well, hey, listen, I'm gonna start off by saying that, I guess when you get beat overall in the big game, you got to hang on to the small victories, right, Ronbo?
There you go.
You got.
It's like that. It's like that last fat girl in the club at 3 a.m.
Hey, I'm not gonna beat you up over it, Ronbo. I'm really not. And listen, hey, I first I want to say shout out to all the faithfuls out there. Hope everyone's doing good. Had a good start to the week. And I got to say, if you got a chance to watch the pro days
Wait, Mike. I just realized something. That was un-PC. Listen, I really do like fat girls. I was just kidding. I really do. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
All right. All I'm going to say is this, all right? If you watch the pro days today, you had to be excited for what you had to see with the Fields kid. Look, listen, the Mac Jones thing and Phil Sims. Look, Phil Sims didn't even friggin' mention Brandon Ayuk's name. He wasn't even nowhere near.
Yeah, somebody pointed that out earlier. True. Shay just mentioned that.
Exactly. There's been a lot of great callers tonight, Ronbo. I've heard a lot of good people say a lot of great things on here tonight, and I couldn't be prouder of my fellow faithful fans out there. There's been some small degenerate pieces, but what could you do about that, Ronbo?
Can't expect 100%.
You just gotta deal with it. And here's the thing, I think the whole mystery to code, it's kind of funny to me. Kyle Shanahan, if you go back to any of the times of him breaking down film, Ronbo, and talking about players coming out of the draft, all right, he's always talked about the fact that he looks at the position as a whole. All right. Now when I say that, I'm talking because he said that they got 3 quarterbacks that they were happy with, and everyone started assuming, well, it's got to be one of the 3 leftovers, because Lance is gone or whatever, Sunshine. All right. And then you got the Wilson kid. Everyone thinking that the Jets are going to snag him up. So it must be between, Lawrence and Fields and this phony macaroni over there. All right. And I say that with a deep heart too. Phony macaroni. I mean, all you have to listen. One thing, I challenge anyone to do this before I get to my other point. I challenge anyone to do this. You look at any of that kid's highlights and you tell me how many times that those wide open receivers had to slow down and stutter step to catch his ball, even though they're wide open, even though he should be leading them further down the field because there's not a single person in front of them or the end zone, Ronbo. And all the time you see him having to slow down. Listen, those will all be picks in the NFL, all right? Those will all get either tipped, picked,
or process. I dare him to throw them kind of passes he threw today at his pro day with Jalen Ramsey out there trailing those receivers. And I promise you, he wouldn't have completed a single friggin' one, Ronbo. All right? And so when I see it looking at the board total, here's the board, all right? The 3 quarterbacks that Shanny was talking about is Sunshine, Wilson, and Fields, Ronbo.
Did you say
all right?
Sunshine?
And that's why, yeah, Sunshine. You know, the kid from freaking Clemson. Everyone call him Sunshine. He's like Sunshine from the movie. Remember the Titans? You know, you remember with the long hair? Sunshine.
Fields.
That's what I call him, Ronbo.
Well, we're trying to think of a name
Sunshine
for him.
over there, right?
Yeah, so we'll go with that.
So when you look at it, those are the 3 quarterbacks, and that's why they moved up to number 3, Ronbo. Because no matter what happens, exactly, no matter what happens, he's going to get one of the 3 guys that he identified in the quarterback class, and those 3 by far the Field kid. Listen, Shanahan has seen Fields at 2 different camps. Saw him the first time as a little kid, Ronbo. All right, and listen. Fields is no joke. I promise you, if he would have had the same amount of full years as the Zach Wilson kid, Fields, it might really be a competition between him and Sunshine for the first overall. Honest to God. But the thing is, he just didn't have that much experience. He had the little ordeal over there in Georgia, as someone alluded to earlier. Had the whole racial slur. He was trying to multi-sport, Ronbo. He was trying to do the baseball and the football, just like Russell Wilson. Yeah, just like Russell Wilson. Unfortunately, he was in the dirty South over there in Atlanta, and it didn't go too well. All right. So at the end of the day, though, the Fields kids got all the tools, Ronbo. And I got to say, out of all the quarterbacks, he's got to be the toughest son of a friggin' gun I've seen out there. And everyone always talks about how tough he is.
And he proved that already.
And his
Tony,
definitely. So those are the 3. Those are the 3, Ronbo.
I know, because they traded up and they knew what they were doing. And Mike, excellent points. Can we see you this weekend? Because we're out of time now.
Definitely, and me personally. So for all my cousin told me there was a lot of comments on there that was asking who Nine and Mike thinks that we're going to get. My answer is Fields if the Jets don't do Jet things. All right, if the Jets do Jet things, we're going to snag up the Wilson kid. Don't even ask yourself that twice. All right.
There
but if it goes one, if it
Mike
goes,
is smoking. Guys, remember, if I say we got to go, and production's only going to go so long with this. Okay. And Justin says, Ronbo, who do you want? At the end of the day, I can't waffle back and forth. I just like what I see in Trey Lance. The guy's a monster. I kind of like that about him. He really is. He's 20 years. I didn't know he's 20 years old. That is freaky. Whoa. Hey, Tony.
Ronbo. What's happening, bro?
I tell you, I feel so relaxed. I did not, under any circumstances, want to go in to this season with this team. I mean, K'Wan Williams and all these guys signing these one-year contracts, they know the 49ers left some unfinished business. And Kyle and both John Lynch says, listen, we ran it by the boss, and he signed on and gave us a green light. We're keeping Jimmy, and we're going to draft a quarterback. And that's, what I like about that, people don't want to believe it. They don't have to. But those who want to believe it, like myself, I'm feeling better about that already. Give me the band back for one more concert. That's all I'm asking, Tony. And if they fail, okay. But if they go where I'm thinking they're going to go and injury doesn't bite us again, Tony, that team's ready for bear. They're all polished in Kyle Shanahan's system. Everybody knows their job. Look out. Yes. But Tony, you got
totally.
Mac running around scaring people. What's going to happen? Is this a joke or what?
Look, I totally agree with what you said. Jimmy's going to get his chance to showcase his talent one more time. But if you watch the press conference, these guys, if it comes to toughness, had to be C.J. Beathard. He was tough as nails. He was in there like a boxer getting his ass kicked every week.
Yes. God, he took some shots.
But, I mean, these guys, if you've got a chance and you think you've got a quarterback of the future and you've got one chance at it, you've got to go and get it. And it's
next
not,
year's class
it's
doesn't
got
look good,
nothing
Tony.
to do with Jimmy G. It's got to do with planning for the future.
Yeah. And
if they think that this guy is gonna be there for him in the future, well, go and get him. Christ's sake, you know what I mean? Jimmy's gonna get his chance, but they have to cover their ass because the performance when Jimmy did go down from the last two quarterbacks we got was mediocre at best. So they're looking to fix that area up. I still can't believe we're talking about these running quarterbacks because the way I see it, you know my thoughts. Patrick Mahomes won, and I'm not going to take the victory away from him. He won that game against the 49ers, but he won it because the 49ers defense faltered. All right? So to me, deep down in Patrick Mahomes' mind, I call that a false positive. He did win the game, but he didn't win it the way he wanted to win it. So he's a running quarterback. The next year, all right, the very next, makes it to the Super Bowl, and everyone's still talking about running quarterbacks, and an old goat named Brady comes along, and he didn't just beat him, Ronbo. He whooped his ass.
I know.
All right? But every time someone tries to change something up, someone's going to come back with an old school team and say, yeah, watch this.
That's a good point.
I think it's going to be, I think they're going to, I don't know, I just got a gut feeling that they're going to pick Zach Wilson.
And Tony, you bring up a clever, remember when Cam Newton versus Peyton Manning? I actually thought they were going to wipe the floor up with the Broncos. And see what happens? Tony, the bottom line is this. Defenses are going to always win. Mahomes' ass was handed to him because of it. Yes.
Every time we talk about something, we always say the game is won in the trenches.
Yeah.
And then we keep on going to running quarterbacks. Look at Lamar Jackson. As far as I'm concerned, Lamar Jackson has put a curse on himself. I'm going to take this team to the Super Bowl. Let's see what Lamar Jackson and my homeboy are going to do next year. Maybe they get their asses whooped again by another old school team.
It's got a rugged defense.
You got two Nick Bosa's running at you from either side of the field. I don't care what quarterback you are. You're going to be shitting yourself.
It's especially if you got a brilliant mind defender. I mean, look what we did to the kid in Arizona in that last game. Tony, the 49ers flat kicked his little swift ass. And it wasn't just because of the edge. They had a whole plot designed. This is why defenses are so much more easier to schedule to kill than an offense is.
Yes. I mean, you've got to surround your quarterback with protection. It doesn't matter which quarterback it is, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Jimmy G. You've got to give him a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, the receivers, maybe they've got a little bit of a trouble, to shake someone off. They're hand fighting. You just need that extra split second to get open.
Yeah.
You got to give him that chance.
Got it.
And he'll get you there. You've just got to have the talent and the accuracy to throw it at the bloke.
And a Dallas Cowboys type offensive line that they had that year with Zeke and Dak were like pro rookies of the year. I said, you know what? Look at that offensive line. I can quarterback by that offensive line. I was already just wow. So let's see what they look like otherwise.
It's called a game of football and it's played as a team.
Yeah.
And the whole team has to be in sync. Offense, defense, coaches, quarterbacks, everything's got to come together on the final day.
That's it. It's always been a team game.
I think,
good stuff, Tony.
To win off another person's mistake, to me, is a false positive. And I think Mr. Pat knows that. And he would have rather have beat us like Brady beat him.
You know it. Tony, we're out of time. Awesome concepts. I love it. Let's see you this weekend if you get a chance, will you?
Yeah, no problem, brother. Thank you very much. Shout out to everybody.
Thank you, Tony. Have a great day.
Man. Have a good night.
All right, you
Thank
too.
you.
And I see is that two T's? Wait. I see a T and 12W. Thanks, Jeff, for that contribution. I see us getting Fields, either Lance, trading back up in draft Najee Harris, also pick Tommy Tremble with 3 first. If the 49ers, this is something we're not talking about, if the 49ers get into this draft and start manipulating that number 3 pick, people are going to be pissed. But we'll see what happens, though. Because if it is Mac Jones, you can get him anywhere in the draft. Fly guy. God, people are going to be angry. Oh, my God. Fly guy.
What's good?
Fly guy, man, we're just looking at the Mac Jones drama being really, I mean, it's hardcore about Mac Jones. People are talking like Mac Jones, it's no point. He's starting looking for property right now in the Bay Area. He's coming to San Francisco. Fly guy, is Mac Jones going to be the quarterback of the 49ers future? Or who's your pick?
I don't think so because God, they playing mind game, man. That's what they doing. They playing mind game. It's like if you wanted to get Mike Jones, you didn't have to go to number 3. So what's the point of going to 3 if you're gonna get Mac Jones, whatever his name is?
Mac Jones. What do you think this game? What's the result of this game going to be? What is it? Because we're not going to know till, but it's fun trying to figure out what in the hell are Kyle and John up to now.
But Mac Jones, I did watch some of his highlight in the pro days. It was okay. I didn't show the one where he missed a couple of passes, but they showed all the good ones, so it was looking cool to me.
I only
the long passes.
Yeah. I only watched a couple
In his
minutes.
college days, he threw a lot of deep balls. I like that, but you didn't have to move up for him. So let's get the best player. That's about it.
Who's the best?
And
but also, Fly Guy, you're the guy that I believe. Do you believe it's going to be a quarterback or maybe not?
Yeah, it's going to be a quarterback. And I'm gonna tell you,
because they already told Jed.
I'm gonna tell you, Jimmy G is not coming back, Ronbo. He's not coming back. You're gonna be disappointed on draft day. I'm telling you.
And you believe Kyle and John lied again for the 5th time?
Yep. Let's do the math. Right?
All right.
We have $19 million in salary cap. When you draft a quarterback in the first round, number 3, that player is gonna worth $12 to $15 million a year. That's your whole salary cap.
Yeah, first round quarterback is expensive, especially at number 3. That's true.
So how the hell you gonna sign the rest of the picks?
Good question.
Somebody gonna have to go. Either they keep Jimmy G, Eric Armstead go, or they keep Armstead and Jimmy G go. It's either. I mean, they're not done cutting players yet. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And if you're gonna keep a quarterback, you're not gonna be like, we're gonna keep Jimmy G, but if something good come around, then we willing to talk.
Yeah.
It's more like advertisement talk. Like we want Jimmy G, but they don't want to give him for free. That's why they don't want to give Jimmy G for free. They want at least a first round for him.
But Flacco, you know what? I didn't know we had enough money. And actually, to tell the truth, right now, even I was talking crazy back then, I didn't know we had enough money to sign Trent Williams. And when they signed Verrett and everybody else, I said, where in hell is all this money coming from?
Yeah,
so, you know.
But the reason we got extra $20 million is because D Ford gave us $20 million back.
That's true.
So we was in deep trouble if D Ford didn't give us that money back. So, but when you think about it, if you do the math, Jimmy G is not coming back, Ronbo, because you don't draft a first round, a quarterback in the first round, third pick. He's gonna make $15 million a year, and then you're gonna keep a quarterback for $27 million.
Yeah, and don't forget Trent Williams. I love when you do the math on that and talk about how much money we got tied up in 2 people.
It don't add up, Ronbo. It's just they don't want to they pretending like they're gonna keep Jimmy G, so a team can be like, here's a first round for Jimmy G. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
But nobody's buying it. The whole NFL said they ain't buying it. Either you give up Jimmy G for free or you keep him.
could be Broncos. The Broncos need a quarterback. Maybe they might take Jimmy.
Yeah.
But
that's what they said. Give up Jimmy G for free.
You got to know one.
Keep him.
You got to know one thing though. Kyle and company got to be careful here because they got a bunch of guys. The only reason they re-signed with the 49ers is because they want to take one more shot at the Super Bowl. You're not going to get to the Super Bowl with a rookie not this year. It's too fast. It takes him a minute to learn.
It's possible. It's possible, Rumbo.
Everything's possible, but unlikely.
Kobe Bryant went to the NBA straight from high school.
True.
Straight from high school, not college. Straight from high school.
Right.
With LeBron James.
Yeah.
Anything is possible, man. It's new players that come and dominate the game. Like it's possible. It's like why not?
Kobe
Why not be the first team that?
Yeah, Kobe had Shaq, and they had a great team.
Okay, we've had George Kittle. We have George Kittle and Debo and all those good players that we have.
Yeah.
It's possible, man. Either we're gonna give it a try or we're gonna still go through a season with all these high players we have.
Yeah.
One on the bench for 15.
Yeah.
First round on the bench for 15. Jimmy G getting 27, 26.
You did all the math. You know what? If you look at it, we're already over the cap. I don't know how they do these things.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they signed all them players, if you want to know the truth. But they only got a lot of one-year contracts. So,
but okay, draft pick, remember that.
Only so many times.
Draft pick, remember that.
Yeah,
Either Jimmy G go or Umstead go. Two players I know that's going.
You and I think Michael, the guy calls in here, and he said Jimmy G would be gone before. Somebody else said Jimmy G's gone before April 1st. But Fly Guy, I'm telling you right now, I would bet against it. We'll see.
Okay, we'll see.
All right.
I'll see you on draft day.
Fly Guy, we'll see you this weekend, though, for sure. All right, fam. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Night.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And there he is, one of the founding members of TNT. He is Dre from VA. And with Trez standing by to intervene, I couldn't believe them battling on here just the other day. But like they always say, TNT, they don't always agree. But,
finally. And I do mean we don't always agree, Brother Ronbo. We don't always agree, but we do stay united under one umbrella. That, How you doing, sir?
Absolutely fabulous, and you know the reason why.
I do know. I hear a lot of misinformation being spread.
A lot of that going around for a long time now.
Shout out to my TNT family. Hey, shout out to Hank. He wanted me to give him a shout out. Shout out from TNT, Hank. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to production. But this is disgusting.
Too cute and cuddly.
This is absolutely
really disgusting.
This cute and cuddly Mac Jones smoke screen.
A cupcake.
Ronbo, let me tell you something. Let's break a little something down today.
Yeah.
Guess who was at Alabama's pro day today?
Every damn body. Belichick, Kyle,
all
John,
32, all 32 teams. So when we show up, there's no combine. There's no owners meeting. These people are really there to have a talk with each other.
Conversations, right? Good point, Trey.
See what I mean? In person.
Yes.
This is COVID. You see what I mean? So let's not always be so excited to assume that. Let's think about something else. Guess who was in Columbus, Ohio, Ronbo?
That was Adam Peters, right?
Rick Scandarillo, Adam Peters, our quarterback coach. Shout out to our quarterback coach and Adam Peters. Now, here's the funny thing, Ronbo. Shout out to Cam Inman. There was only one chartered flight from Tuscaloosa to Columbus, Ohio. And guess who was on that flight? John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. They're going up to Ohio. No. They're going from Bama to Ohio to have a conversation with Justin and just talk about a few things. Now, that's the entire Niners brass. No other quarterback got that treatment. But we're going to leave that alone, though, because we never know what we're talking about. The entire Niner brass? No, I mean, But here's the funny thing about it, though. You're going to stop blaming my defense for losing that Super Bowl because that's not what happened. Okay? We've talked about this. We don't have to keep getting
They had nothing to do with it.
The fact that this nothing to do with it, Ronbo, fine. You want to sit there and say that they allowed it to happen.
No, I'm just saying.
Would sit there
I'm saying they had nothing to do with
what,
it.
Ronbo? No. Is your offense? Were we supposed to score anything? I mean, the fact that we had 20 points and we ended the game with 20 points and we lost by double digits. Could we score anything? Could we score anything? Anything, Ronbo? We couldn't get a point, field goal.
Guess not.
Or what about a wide open touchdown pass? No, we couldn't get that. No, that didn't
fail there too.
But let's be off of that though, because we don't want to talk about a guy that's not in the future plans. You know, Justin Fields, he unlocks the offense for Kyle Shanahan. Think about this, Ronbo. 3rd and 5. It's demoralizing when you give up a 3rd and 5 to a scrambling QB. It's demoralizing. If you don't believe it, see week 1. Kyler Murray demoralized our defense, Ronbo. He didn't have a lot of passing yards. I think he barely had 200, but he had 100 yards rushing. A loss is a loss, and there's one thing you can't stop in 2021. That's the mobile quarterback. But what about a mobile quarterback with a genius coach, with an unstoppable scheme that already predicates itself on the run game? Now you're making the defense play 11 on 11. What is everybody so afraid of? To step into 2021? We are at a disadvantage when we have to play 10 on 11. And that's what you do with a quarterback like Jimmy. I just heard this guy, Tony, shout out to him. He said that running quarterbacks don't get it. Patrick Mahomes won by default. He had 5 different backup offensive linemen against the Bucks. That doesn't matter though, Ronbo, right? That doesn't matter though, right?
No, I'm just curious as to why you provide him with an excuse, but Jimmy can't get one. But go ahead.
What do you mean? Did Jimmy ever have 5 offensive linemen missing at once? If he did, I apologize.
No. He had
What about the Super Bowl? Did he have 5 missing offensive linemen?
He had
in the Super
one.
Bowl,
That's all it took. He had
No.
one.
I'm saying, did he have 5 missing offensive linemen?
You're telling me that all the offensive linemen for the Chiefs was out? I know about the 2
all
wins,
of them were
but I didn't
not
know about
the
this.
starters from the year before. Hold on. All of them were not the starters from the year before.
All right, we'll give him that excuse. Now, where are you going with this?
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just sitting here saying he's making it seem like Mahomes couldn't get it done. I'm sitting there saying that the man didn't have time. But check this out. This is what I'm saying. Jimmy's going to get his chance.
Then he doesn't need offensive
No,
linemen.
Jimmy's going to get – you said Jimmy plays better when he's mad. Kyle said that. Here's the funny thing. Kyle also said that Jimmy was available for the right price.
Sure.
And I'm
He's been saying that for weeks. There's nothing new, Trey.
Yeah, I know. Because you're drafting his replacement. Don't act like we're not.
No. You're also drafting somebody other than C.J. Beathard and Nick Mullins. So, you could put that in a different ways, but spin it in the way you like both, which is get rid of Jimmy and bring in this new kid.
Get rid of him. Ronbo.
He got rid of himself, didn't he?
He's got rid of himself.
I knew you were
going
there.
Go, man.
Trey,
I know. Ronbo, I'll just say this one last thing, and I'm out of here. Y'all blame the defense for losing the Super Bowl. Guess what we didn't draft, Ronbo? We didn't draft a defensive player. We're drafting a quarterback.
Hurry, Trey. We can run out of time. All right.
Bye, man. All right, brother.
All right, fam. Talk to you later. Talk to you weekend. Oh, God. Trey, you know what? Trey is always ready. Boy, Trey never comes there empty-handed, do we? George!
Ronbo.
George, come on in.
Man.
As you know.
Well, I wanted to start off by saying that I called in on Sunday. On Sunday was my actual birthday. But I don't know what happened. I was on hold, and then I heard the whole show, and then all of a sudden it cut off.
Yeah.
Even though I was still on the call, so I was like, man, that sucked.
This system sometimes, after a while, it shuts things down. We don't even have control over that. George, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
You know what?
It's all good.
But listen, I
already heard a birthday song earlier, so you don't have to do it again. But I heard it. I was here. I heard it. I was like, hey, if I don't get on today, I'll take that as my birthday song too.
No, you don't. I got one for you, George. Let's do it right now. Because George is the guy that used to have to go through my same joke every time he called. Boom, 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 boom. George of the jungle, friends to you and me. Oh, watch out for that tree. Happy birthday to George. Happy birthday to George. Cause he does not swing from trees. He's my dude from the dirt. You know, I gotta come up with a rhyme for that, George. But in the meantime, I will say happy birthday to my man George. Happy Niners! George, we don't be missing out on no chance to sing that birthday song, bro. Happy birthday, George.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, George.
Man, isn't this some entertainment, Ronbo?
Tell you, man,
isn't everyone entertained? Like,
it's really crazier.
That's why, like, we can all come in here, give our opinion, what's going to happen. But, man, none of us knew all of this was going to happen.
Oh, it's hard to figure out, you know? Lynch and Shannon. They are the most complicated human beings when it comes to this. No matter what we say, George, we're all going to be off. Unless one or two of us, the ratio is like 1 out of 50 times we're going to somebody's going to rub on the right surface. But where you at with this?
Yeah. But honestly, I think, we lost a lot of draft picks with the trade we did to number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the callers were saying earlier, smoke screen. We've seen this before. I wouldn't doubt it if they just finesse the Falcons just one spot, for some extra picks, and then see what other callers might call in for, but either player they get, we're just going to support it, just like I've supported Jimmy, like we all know that after the ACL, it wasn't the same, but come on, we're Niners, we're going to support whoever gets there. I'll even support people who we got, for like the weakest deal, and maybe they can step up, and make a name for themselves, like some others have. So, but yeah, I just think that come draft day, we're gonna see a lot of other fun stuff. If we do happen to get any of these like top 3, then that's cool. But one guy that was, I think, a sleeper is Sam Ellinger. He's from the Texas Longhorns. He's similar to all these guys. He can run. I mean, he has a deep ball. Also, like dimes. If you go check out his his highlights, a lot of them are like perfect throws. But obviously Texas probably didn't have great players like Ohio State or Alabama. So.
See, that's where
I like
away.
Sleeper picks, man.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like I told you, that guy Das Newsome, the wide receiver as well. I think he's going to be a sleeper. So,
George, have you heard about what's this kid Mund? I briefly read something. MONDE. See, this is kind of backdoor thing. Like you're saying, the 49ers manipulate their way down the draft. They get a few more things, and they've already sent people off in the wrong direction, not knowing what they do. Then they pick up a kid that nobody's talking about, but he checks all of Kyle's boxes. Now, Kyle's not going to drop out of the first round doing this, but all of a sudden, they've enriched their draft. Kyle gets a guy he wants that nobody saw. That's another thing you can possibility that could happen.
Well, he also said it himself on the presser. He said that, he usually, like at the 12th position, he wasn't telling anyone who he was looking at. But now that we're at number 3, he's willing to go to these pro days because then, he can check out everybody in person and stuff like that. But, man, the guy knows what he's doing, man. He's made this team, even with very a lot of injuries and everything, we still competed. Even when he first came in, we had a terrible team, and we still competed. We lost by 3 points, I believe, or less.
We went to the Super Bowl.
We broke a record.
No number 1 receiver. You know, Kyle is. That's why Kyle's going to get a guy that he knows is going to follow directions. Everybody thinks they're going to get this guy. No, he's got to be able to do what Kyle says and execute what Kyle's plans are. It can be rough.
Yep. And like I believe in McKivitz. He got put in a tough situation. Of course it's next man up, but he did well against the Rams. I remember calling and telling you to check out his whole tape. He dominated Donald, man. He with one hand he kept them back. And Donald was really trying to get in there. So. It is what it is, man.
I love it frustrated.
So go check out those highlights, and you'll see how McKivitz actually handled him.
Hey, he's gonna get better too.
Let's just
that was his rookie year.
Let's trust this regime. Yeah, let's trust this regime, and
I do.
We'll be happy next season, man.
I think so. George, I tell you what, I'll be looking for you. Let's get on back here this weekend, and hopefully we don't have that phone function dysfunction. All right. Happy birthday,
no
George.
Worries. All right, man.
Phil.
Have a good one, man.
You too. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Night. Paul III says, "Hey, Ronbo, did you hear about Kyle's reaction to Mac Jones' pro day and his overthrows? Did you see it? What did you think?" Jones, I didn't watch the whole thing. I seen him make a big connection out there with Jones, but I didn't see the whole thing, and everybody said bad things about it. I'm glad I didn't watch it. It was a waste of time. Thanks for that contribution, though, Paul. Renzo!
What's the dealio, my boy?
Renzo, man, the Mac Jones show for now, and there's going to be lots of them because there's going to be, the heat's going to pick up as the weeks go toward the draft, as you know. But Mac Jones is the dish of the week. Renzo, I know Mac Jones is probably not coming, but who do you think, and why is Mac Jones getting so much light?
I'm going to tell you right now, with Mac Jones, I got a remix of your song. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no.
I've seen one person in chat like Mac Jones. Nobody likes Mac.
Mac Jones, he's a good quarterback, but you got to think, man, he was in a perfect situation, man. That's like unheard of. You got Nick Saban 5 stars all the way around, so you can't go wrong. You could put me and you back there and we'll look like pros in there.
I tell you.
I'm a skip.
It's the same thing with Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady was surrounded by an all-star cast. There was no way he was going to fail.
Exactly.
Not in that particular week. It's too late. All them dudes know how to play together now. That's a scary team.
Yeah,
the Bucs are very dangerous.
Just like I was listening when you was talking about when Cam played the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That defense they had in Denver, that was a Pro Bowl defense they had, bro. Cam couldn't, it wasn't his fault, bro. It wasn't his fault, bro. That defense, Denver paid for him in the Super Bowl and it paid off.
They look like piranha taking Cam down on every snap. They was just they look like they were taking it down piece by piece. Every snap. Oh, Jesus. Refs wouldn't call no fouls. They're hitting him all in the face and in the head. Whew, damn.
I'm going to play one of your roles tonight, Ronbo. I'm going to throw a little chaos in it. I wouldn't be surprised if Urban takes Justin Fields, because if you notice, Justin Fields, Urban Meyer last year at Ohio State, when he went out the door, was Justin Fields' first year. He knew Justin Fields was coming in, and that was going to be a good scenario for him.
Somebody else mentioned this.
Urban Meyer likes those kind of quarterbacks, because think about Tim Tebow, man. He loves to run that little pistol, the little handoff quarterback in the shotgun, and Justin Fields can do that real good. He could do that real good. I'm not saying that Trevor Lawrence, he's a beast. He's a beast. I got a chance to watch him in high school on ESPN. He's a beast. But we got to think, man, how we always say a new coach want to get his quarterback.
True.
So don't be surprised if that's his quarterback.
Hey,
and if that's his quarterback.
Does he know you say he knows Justin Fields. It sounds like he knows Justin Fields even more than he knows Trevor. Is that right?
Yeah. Man, Ohio State, that's where Urban Meyer went to school at. So he been on Justin Fields. And every time they used to interview him on College Game Day, he was always talking about Justin Fields. He was always talking about this guy. He loved this guy. I'm not saying that he's going to draft him, but it's a possibility that we speak on that he might do. And if that happens, oh man,
because at number one,
we're going to go crazy.
This is the thing, because at number one, you don't have to bluff. That's why I'm trying to figure him out.
Exactly.
He was the only guy at the pro day of Trevor Lawrence. And guess what? Trevor was invited to Ohio to talk to the Browns people, and he told them, "Nah, ain't no need. Y'all take care," and hung up. What?
Bro, if Justin goes number one, bro, we Niner fans going to lose our mind with the option of Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence.
Because you know the Jets are going to take Trevor if that happens.
We can't lose. We really can't lose if that option comes in. We cannot lose.
That would make
headlines.
Oh, that would make headlines.
We'll have a heart attack. We will have a heart attack knowing that one of these two guys is going to land in San Francisco.
And that Meyer would take Justin instead of Lawrence, and every sign points towards TL, and he doesn't do it. Ooh, you talk about the lights will go out on the venue that night. It'll be dark at the screen. What?
And two, Ronbo, Jimmy Garoppolo is playing. He's playing for his contract and his career right now, because being in San Francisco right now, it's not going to really, have to say, be an open competition, because Jimmy Garoppolo making $27 million. You're not going to let this rookie take over. Yeah. You're not going to sit $27 million on the sideline. You're not going to do that. If you knowing you're going to hand over the reins to this rookie, you got to get rid of Jimmy. It's business. You got to. He can't be no backup, because you're making too much money, bro.
Yeah, ain't nobody getting paid to sit down.
So I believe now you can fit the rookies, because rookies, they're not going to make a boatload of money like that. After Jamarcus Russell messed up the league, yeah, they done put a little. Yeah, we're not going to pay you these big bucks. But Justin Fields or whoever it is, they sit on the sideline, they can learn behind Jimmy. And it's like, too, they say Jimmy gets mad, hey, that's going to push you to, look, man, I'm not secured for 2 years, bro. I'm securing for year to year now. It's not, I'm here for 2 years. It's year to year, so who knows, man. Jimmy might ball out, bro.
Jimmy made Brady nervous the whole time he was over there. That's why Brady got rid of his ass. Yeah. So we're going to see a real hardcore competition this year. Rizzo, hey.
Also, too.
We got to go, fam.
Before I go, we got a good line. A perfect line for Jimmy. I'm out of here, bro.
That's a line for Jimmy. Rizzo, I love the way you put that together. See you this weekend.
Yeah. All right, man.
Alice. There you are. Ellis, come on in, man. We're having the Mac Jones party, as you know. BYOB. I'll brought you something good. BYQB. What am I talking about? Hey, Ellis, reflect upon this, because you're seeing the tidbits around the league. Everybody's trying to attach Mac Jones to Kyle Shanahan for various reasons. Kyle Shanahan has his prototypical type of thing. What he requires in his quarterbacks. Are you buying this?
Man, I'm gonna be disappointed if we get, Mac Jones. I just, and after his pro day today, again, his second pro day, that shit has solidified, things, and we actually being number 3, we have, a few guys, like Kyle said, that he's confident in. The controversy is going to be the controversy. And now you just brought up the Urban Meyer thing, so that spices it up a little bit, because, Trevor Lawrence could easily,
fall
go
out
after.
One.
He could easily go after Justin Fields, And that opens up things, man. It makes the conversation a lot more crazier for us. But again, I'm still going with Trey Lance. I got to keep, I got to keep the same. You got to keep the same energy.
I like him.
At the end of the day, I just want whoever's going to be best for our team. And I would hate for Trey Lance not to work out. I would hate for Justin Fields not to work out. Anybody that we get. So at the end of the day, It's just really about it's crazy because Kyle basically put it on the line. Him and John are basically putting his balls to the wall right now with this move, and they know that, so they can't miss, and that's why they're out, scouting, and they're trying to throw off the media and going and moving around. They're trying to keep us off the scent, or keep them off the scent, I'll say, because we're on the same side as them. We want the best guy. We want to we want to keep everybody off the radar and trick the system a little bit, so we're not as predictable as a lot of other teams are. And I even seen some pictures of Belichick kind of off to the side with Kyle and John
that face.
At the pro day today, looking hella mad. Yeah, stone
They're
face
showing that on news
Bill,
clips.
stone face dollar bill Belichick. You know what I mean?
But he looked uncomfortable though, standing with his arms folded and frowned up.
Yeah, definitely had that look on his face. So, and he might have been going for Mac. So, but they got Davis Mills that's still there, and he'll probably end up picking him up if he doesn't get snatched. So, I think he's probably is going to have a lot more upside than Mac Jones. Mac Jones to me he needs that line, and he depends on that line so much. That's what I'm more so worried about. We need guys that can be able to make moves with their feet and make plays with their feet and things kind of off schedule. We need guys that have those abilities, not just guys that can stand in the pocket and pass and look beat statues and things. We don't need the Tom Brady thing. So as long as Kyle doesn't do that, let's just figure it out. And I know everybody talks about Trey Lance not having many starts and not playing. And I mean, if you just look though at his numbers, with 42 touchdowns, 66.9% completion, 2,786 yards for stats in 2019. Now, when you compare him and Carson Wentz went 20-3, and
same school.
Trey went 17. Yeah, Carson Wentz went 20-3. Trey Lance went 17-0. 63.3% completion percentage for Carson Wentz, 65.3 for Trey Lance. 247.7 yards total yards, 245.8 for Trey. 42 and 14 touchdowns to interceptions for Wentz, 30-1 for Trey, and 16 rushing touchdowns for Trey Lance and 12 for Carson. So in Carson Wentz, I see him, he came from a school. Everybody keeps talking about the school. Carson Wentz came from that school, and Carson Wentz to me is actually a really good quarterback. He might have had some bad years, but I look at him when he came in the league as being a good quality quarterback. Yeah, so he still has a good quarterback. Yeah. So but again, I'm just saying, Trey Lance has a lot of upside. That's why a lot of people are saying, he's really got a lot of promise. But whoever beats him to the punch, as far as for Kyle and John, I'm good with it. I just want us to win, man. I want the guy to come in, and we got to restructure Jimmy, man. Free up some money so we can have money for Fred. And obviously to pay for our rookie, quarterback and our rookies coming in, and maybe even get another player on a one-year deal. Antonio Brown's still floating out there. I just hope Seattle doesn't.
They would have got him a long time ago.
As long as the Hawks don't get it, please.
Yeah, they're going to try again. So we'll see. I'm sure the 49ers got the money situation all figured out though, because you look at what they did. Nobody saw that coming, and they got it all done. So I'm not worried about that. But Ellis,
the $27 million for him for not playing last year, I just feel like coming into the year, people are going to be like, God, they paid this guy $27 million, even if he plays a full season. But it's kind of like we still got to get some of that money back.
Ellis, come on now. You know they're not going to pay us no attention. But I don't know how they do these things, but they'll get it all figured out.
Yeah.
Ellis, let me see. We'll see this weekend and see what else develops. Boy, I tell you, because this this place is rocking. I feel.
Yeah, it's crazy, Ronbo. Check your DM. I'm gonna send you a picture actually of Quinn Williams when he was tackling Jimmy. Yeah. I was telling you guys that he injured him. Yeah. You'll be able to see this up close in the way that he did it. You could see how he grabbed his foot from the front and then grabbed his leg and pulled him like in a way to where it brings him to the ground, but it was in an aggressive way. He did it real quick because I seen it in the play, and I said, "Oh, Jimmy's down. He's injured." I already knew it was going to happen once I saw it, but I finally got a slow motion of it, and you can see it.
Right. I definitely want to see that.
Man. It was kind of dirty on Quinn's behalf, man. But,
I know.
Shout out to the Niners faithful. You know what I mean?
Flagged.
And yeah. Jimmy got some fire lit under you, man. Come and ball, man. If you gonna come out and play the ball, Jimmy.
He's ready.
Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. Shout out to you, brother Ronbo.
Thanks,
Thank you
Ellis.
for the platform.
All right,
Peace
Phil.
always.
Appreciate you. All right. See you this weekend. And Tony. Tony. Which Tony is this?
What's
Tony
good, Ronbo? How's it going?
It's Tony. I was wondering, it's Tony.
Yeah.
We got an Aussie Tony, and we got the guy from Atlanta. It can only be. It's got to be Tony. Tony, reflect upon what's going on. The madness has gone crazy since your draft. I mean.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
yes.
I've sat here for the past 2.5 hours of people just shitting on Mac Jones for just random reasons, and I'm going to dispel all of them.
Right.
I'm not saying that Justin Fields is a garbage quarterback, but for me personally, I'm going to go over why I like Mac Jones. Now, the first argument I heard from all these people is he went to Alabama, right?
Yeah.
He has everything around him. There's no way he can't succeed. Well, I mean, look at Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Terrace Marshall, all first-round receivers.
True.
Then you have a first-round running back in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You have a top-tier defense in your conference. I mean, what did he not have? You look at Kyler Murray when he was coming out, Hollywood Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Trey Sermon, who's going to be a probably day 2 pick this year. He was on Oklahoma at the time. They're probably the best offensive line I've seen in the past decade when Kyler Murray was there. And they're playing in the Big Ten where there's no competition, so you can't tell me that you are going to evaluate a quarterback based on the team he plays on. I think that's very irresponsible from all the people that have been here saying it. Now, another thing I want to touch on is I don't think anybody really watched Mac Jones' film. I feel like I'm the only guy who has watched Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, all of them in depth. And I'll tell you right now, my issue with Fields, I don't think he's necessarily a one-read quarterback, but when the play breaks down and his first read is gone, he can panic sometimes. And that's a real worry for me because we see Jimmy Garoppolo takes his eyes off his first read. He can't do anything. Now, the difference between him and Fields is Fields can extend the play, and he can make some insane throws. Jimmy can't do that. So I think Fields would be an upgrade. But the same issues you have with Jimmy, holding on to the ball too long, not being decisive, just, I guess, not getting the ball out and making decisions, those are things that Jimmy does that Justin Fields also does. So if Justin Fields were to come in, I want him to sit for at least a year. Now, with Mac Jones, people are not giving him credit. Adam Schefter himself said that there are teams who believe he is worthy of the number 3 overall pick, and there's teams that value him at that spot. So the media perception that he's just this garbage quarterback who's just being thrown in there because he put up numbers, that's ridiculous to me. You watch on film, what really impressed me the most is you would see him go from first read, second read, third read, and the second he hits that third read, the ball's out. Quick release, he knows exactly where he's going with the football. His processing of information, to me, is what separates him from every other quarterback in the class in terms of pocket passing. Nobody else processes information on the level he does.
That's one of the things they say about him in his bio, too. Yeah.
Exactly, and I don't think that's the only thing you need to have because Nick Mullins is an incredible processor of information, but he doesn't have the arm strength. He makes horrible decisions, so you can't really just say a processor is what you need to be great. He has, in my opinion, he has above average arm talent, which I think is close to Joe Burrow's arm talent last year, so I think it'll be good enough for the NFL. What I also see is his feet. We see Jimmy Garoppolo standing in the pocket. His feet never move. He's just a statue. He's just standing there. He has horrible mechanics. He takes sacks. Mac Jones, I'm not saying he's Tom Brady by any means. He is not close to Tom Brady from what we have right now, but his feet in the pocket are as close to Brady as anybody in the league right now, anybody coming out from college. His feet are incredible. They're always in the right spot. He's always shifting. He always knows where to be in the pocket, and his mechanics are impeccable. For me, I just don't see why people are saying if Mac Jones goes at number 3 overall, I'm not going to, believe in Kyle Shanahan anymore. I'm going to lose faith in the organization. That's ridiculous to me. Now, I see the argument for a guy like Justin Fields and Trey Lance because all the top quarterbacks in the league have very gifted arms, and Mac Jones doesn't have a gifted arm. But when you're talking about Kyle Shanahan, I don't think he necessarily needs that. He needs someone who's going to process information, run his offense effectively, and make all the throws needed, which Mac Jones has proven he can do. So that's why I'm a fan of him at number 3. I know there's probably a lot of people here listening to this just thinking I'm crazy because I make a lot of out there takes. But let me remind you guys, too, that no quarterback in the NFL has ever been successful if he can't read a defense and he can't process information. There have been successful quarterbacks with not the best arms, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and they're some of the all-time greats because of how good they are in the pocket with their feet, processing information. So, for me, I'm cool with Fields or Mac Jones. Yeah.
Brilliance works. Tony, outstanding defense of Mac Jones, and we needed that tonight because it's turned into the Justin Fields party, and man, you're right. People have dumped all over Mac, and you came in here and made a case that was rock solid. I'm impressed.
And there was a lot more I could have said, but I know you have a lot of people on, so I'm going to let you go, but. Honestly, if you want one of these next few weekends, we can get somebody to debate Justin Fields or Mac Jones, and I'll come prepared if that's something you're interested in. So,
Tony, just
let me
issued
know.
a challenge. All right, T, I'll get back to you. If anybody responds, I'll get right back to you immediately. All right, that would be awesome.
All right, sounds good, Ronbo.
All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
All right, see you.
I think about what Tony's guy was serious. You know what? I'm not a college guy. I have got nothing to say about what Tony just said. He made some excellent points. There's been a lot of excellent points made tonight. That was right up there with everybody else too, for Mac Jones. Let's go to Sheik and see what his feelings are. Sheik, the Iron One and Only Sheik.
Ronbo, what's going on, fam? How you doing?
Sheik, I'm getting my world rocked here, man. Tony came out of nowhere to bring in the cavalry.
That's fire, man. Shout out
Mac
to him.
Jones. That was hot.
That's fire.
That was.
I love it. That's fire. Shout out to Tony, man. Bring out the facts. Yeah.
But Sheik, where are you on this position? I mean, I went along somewhat with the crowd saying that Mac Jones has one of the most elite offenses surrounding him in the league. But what he brought up, well, how many quarterbacks come in the NFL that aren't surrounded by top personnel? So you know what? Let's stop it. Tony just made me. I'm going to stop it. Mac Jones was no more blessed than a lot of quarterbacks coming in the NFL. So, I don't know how it affected you. What are you thinking?
Well, I have a lot of things. Like Tony said, let's talk about stop being all cute and cuddly like Trey says and talk about these damn cons on all these quarterbacks. Because this is the future, guys. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We're not going to be, look at that throw. Oh, that's great. Look at, he's in shorts.
Not all the time.
Screw
exactly.
That. Like, how about to think about what is his problem? And can he be good in this team? And can he, can he go over and fix the problem? That's the thing I have to think about. But, Ronbo, Tony said, I just wanted to give us some issues with – I like Justin Fields. I think he's going to be a good player, but he needs prepping. Like all these quarterbacks need. They need work. You can't just throw them in the wolves. This is a different animal. The NFL is a different animal. I was reading this about Fields. I just sent it to you, by the way, Ronbo, if you want to check it out as well in your email. Okay. In 2019 and 20, he had the worst in PFF, the third worst in college. Sorry, let me explain. Hold on, he's the third worst in PFF in passing grade.
You lost me. Who are you talking about, Sheik?
Against overall.
Sheik, who are you talking about?
Justin Fields.
Okay.
Justin Fields.
Okay.
In blitz, when he gets blitz, he gets fragile. He gets worried. He throws it away or he gets sacked really easy. And the thing that worries me, Ronbo, is not just him, because he could fix that. He could fix that. But the problem I have, the main problem, is McGlinchey on the right-hand side. What they did, what New Orleans did to us, with that blitz packet, with that corner coming in, that's what they're going to do. And Justin Fields is right there, and that is his problem right there. And he's going to get it's not good.
The same thing in the Super Bowl. They came through persons. They didn't bother with anything else. All they did was like a decoy. They tied up everybody else, and they opened the floodgate. If defenses do that with McGlinchey again this year, yes, it's scary.
Right. And Justin Fields, shout out to him. He had a great pro day. He had a good pro day. But at the end of the day, we want the best quarterback that fits the system. If it's Mac Jones, I'm not a Mac Jones guy. But if it's him, if he fits and he was going to take us to the dance, that's what matters to me. He's been playing against the best teams in the nation. Yeah, he got great personnel, but he's he's doing his thing. And the thing I like about it, I'll say this: the thing I really like about it is his leadership. His leadership is beyond how you looked at it. For example, today with every player, he just going to the ball. Hey, I got you. My bad. I didn't throw it right. He got the ball and came back to the huddle. He said, "Let's do it again. Let's do." That's what I like. That's what type of quarterback I want as well. Is leadership. A guy, just like Jimmy Garoppolo. That's why all the guys love Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Kyle went over there for a reason. He wanted to check out not just how you throw the ball, it's just the total package.
Yeah.
And this is a 10-year, 12, 15-year process of what quarterback we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
We're not looking for bust. You know, we passed on Aaron Rodgers to get Alex Smith. We made a bust move. Yes, we did have different type of coordinators coming in, but Alex couldn't do it. And when he came, we got Kaepernick, then it was too late. So we cannot miss on this. Even I'm going to say, and Russo, shout out to Russo about it if he's listening or not. We cannot overlook Trey Lance either. He might be a project, but if you make him wait and get them all together, he could be the next Mahomes.
Yeah, because that boy.
And he could be a problem.
Huge problem.
And then
I mean,
that's what nobody thought about Mahomes in the draft, Ronbo.
I know.
Barely people.
His offense, what he was coming from, nobody was thinking he was going to be able to survive in the NFL, but we know better than that now. You got to be careful making those kind of judgment calls, and I can't believe GMs and scouts do that. You know? So you're right. You got to be careful with those calls.
And I get it. Zach Wilson, he's a good quarterback as well, but he's young. He's not like people. His cons. We're just talking about cons here.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't played a really good team defenses.
Yeah,
he has a great ball. I give him that. But the thing about Mac Jones has over these guys, and I'm not a Mac Jones guy. I don't want it. I'd rather have Zach Wilson.
But
let's just have an open mind.
Yes, that's what I was getting ready to say.
Find the guy.
So Kyle does call his number that night. There's no need of getting mad, right? Because Kyle must know what he's talking about. Yeah, there's a lot to be said about that.
Right.
I like that argument. Sheik, we're going to go.
Right.
Yes, okay. Mac Jones scoring points here all of a sudden. All right, go Mac! Sheik,
hey, I'm a Zach Wilson guy, but we'll see, Ronbo. But I'm just trying to tell them, just have an open mind, guys, and shout out to the Ronbo chat, shout out to Ronbo Sports, and shout out to you, sir. And faithful, hit that like for Ronbo Sports. Shout out to you.
Sheik.
And go Niners, man, and figure this shit out.
We will, I guess.
It's a big year for us.
It's crazy. Thanks, Sheik. Talk to you later. Can't wait.
Later.
And as soon as the challenge was issued, Shay steps up and says, I'll take that debate. No cap set it up. Ronbo, I'll represent Justin Fields. Tony, I've got a challenger for you. This could be fun. Oh, my God. Let's, woo! Next, I'll get in contact with you guys next week because Shay's schedule, and also Tony, we're going to see what's compatible for both of you guys, and we'll get that set up. Foudy Angel, come on in, man. Shay, thanks for that contribution too, by the way. Foudy Angel.
Hey, Ronbo, what's really going on?
Yeah. Foudy, I wish I knew, man, because this is how we live as people sitting in the position we are as fans. We're watching what's going on.
Yes.
All the opinions are floating around. NFL talking heads are going berserk, saying things. And then all of a sudden, we're trading up and going wild to get to number 3. And what do they say? 49ers are pretty much assumed that Mac Jones is a Kyle Shanahan style. They start breaking down history of Kyle's picks, the philosophies that go on between Mike and Kyle. I mean, and then you look at it and say, yeah, wow. And you got Kyle talking about Kirk Cousins in the press, so I got to go watch that. I've heard about. So, it's a little confusing. Justin Fields, actually, Kyle knows him, but does he fit the Kyle Shanahan mold for what he wants in his quarterback? Foudy, where you at on this?
Well, they're playing ping pong ball, right? They're going back and forth. Kyle and
It sounds like
the media and Kyle and Lynch. They're saying, Justin Fields is a guy. He knew him. What was it? 10 years ago when he was a kid. Shanahan even said, "Oh yeah, it was 10 years ago. He was just a kid." And here's a few things I want to point out. First of all, okay, so they didn't say the 49ers have done this before. First of all, they didn't go to Tracy Lancelot's workout on purpose in case someone tries to jump ahead. This is because you never know. Mr. Sir Lancelot, hey, that's what I'm going for. First of all, there's other teams that have been taking notice on him. He's, another caller called in said that Fields is 6'4". He's not 6'4". He's 6'3", 226, which is great. Around a 4'5" or 4'4". And Mr. Tracy Lancelot here, his stats show that he's 6'4", 226.
And I think they're lying. I think he's bigger than that. God, he looks big.
He looks bigger. And not only does he throw a deep ball, man, he throws a wicked deep ball. He can run. Now, I understand Kyle's not so much looking for a running quarterback, but they've said a few times that Sir Lance he doesn't run first. He throws first, but he can run. And when you see him run, he shows that speed. And not only does he show that speed, he's got power. Once he gets moving, you can't stop him.
Yes.
And he's bold. They say Fields doesn't get hurt. I'll give Fields that. Fields is a, Fields of dreams, I call him. Fields of dreams. He's a tough guy. Yeah, he takes some pain and keeps going. So I mean, I'll give him props on that. Either way, Sir Lancelot's the same way. He takes some hits. Here's what I don't like about Field of Dreams. And I've heard several people say this, and I'll give credit to Tony on busting down a lot of issues about Fields. The other thing that he does is he stares the receivers down, which is what the Jimmy G haters are complaining about with Jimmy G. That he gets fragile, he gets kind of crazy in the pocket, and then he looks at the receiver and just throws it. And here we go, we got a pick. Well, that's exactly what the pros have been saying about Justin Fields. He stares the passers down.
And there's a lot of pushback on that too. There's a lot of people arguing against that. Don Realman called in earlier and said he refuses to accept that. But you're about the 15th person that said that, so
Yeah. Well, and like Tony said, and it's not going to be Big Mac Jones. And I do see Big Mac Jones. He makes some nice throws. That ball spirals like nobody's business. I mean, those are some beautiful spirals. But it's just, I don't know. He seems more like he does seem more like the Brady type.
But one question I got for you.
Not for us.
But do you think, how good is Saban the kind of coach? Now, Tua's got to learn. He's got to grow up. The NFL was his first year.
Right.
Other than who was the last quarterback to come out of Alabama that we're still talking about? I can't remember.
Out of Alabama. I don't know.
Okay.
And that's what's going on right now. Everyone's just talking about how good Fields is and whatnot. I know I'm switching back to Ohio, but
there's nothing come out of Ohio that's got a reputation to send back as a quarterback to Ohio State. So these are things that are kind of frightening. And you don't know if tradition's going to continue, because if Justin Fields is going to follow suit, but he originally came from Georgia.
Right.
So maybe we can't call him a pure Ohio product, So it's complicated. True. Yeah.
It is. And therefore, another thing I want to say about Mr. Tracy Lancelot, everyone's saying the same thing about his stats. They're saying he ain't, he only played a year. Well, he didn't play a year, and that wasn't his fault, though. That we all know that was only because of what happened with the whole COVID deal, blah, blah, blah. But again, if we look at that, I mean, he threw, 38? I know we're all, let's see, I'm looking at it right now, 36 touchdowns or 38 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's undefeated. Now, everyone says, well, he only played a game. Well, that's true, because North Dakota State wasn't able to play any more games. It ain't his fault. So, I mean, there's a lot of that going on. All I got to say,
I love your observations. We got to go, though. Let's do this again
You got
Sunday or this weekend. All right?
You got it, brother.
All right, fam.
You have a great day. Go Niner gang, and let's do it again.
Thank you, fam. Appreciate you. All right,
brother.
Talk to you later, Fadi.
All right, later.
It's A.J. McCarron out of Bama. But you saw me chuckle? Joe Willie Namath. Bear Bryant loved him like his own son out of Bama. I forgot about that. Oh, Broadway Joe. Hey, Morgan. Come on in, Morgan.
Hey. How you doing, Ronbo?
Oh, Morgan, we're sitting here, man. We're going over some of the rhetoric, the madness we're going to get between now and draft night. And Mac Jones, you know what? One cold call. Tony called in and opened my eyes to some things.
Mac Jones isn't bad.
No, I'm done. I ain't got nothing else bad to say about Mac Jones.
He didn't have a good pro day, but I don't think they put as much stock as people think in pro days. They care about him a little bit, but
also, can you imagine how nervous he was, Tony? Morgan. Because the thing is, maybe if he was that way all the time, but he's not. We've seen him do some spectacular things. But
you've watched his film, you know what he can do, and I think it's more about talking to these players, interviewing them, getting into their head a little bit. Yeah. Now that DUI, maybe they ask him a question about that, and who knows what's going on with that.
Hey. So, I'll bet that has something to do with today's performance because that surfaced yesterday.
Yeah, so these are questions he's going to have to answer, and I think that's more about what it's about. But as far as, him having all this talent around him, he had a good talent around him. But the year before, Tua had Ruggs, Waddle, Devontae Smith, and who was the fourth?
Who's the fourth wide receiver? I forget his name. He was good. If he's the number 3 guy, that's a bad boy.
But this year, this year, Mac Jones, he only had Devontae Smith out of all those guys, right?
No, but he had Devontae, he had Waddle, and the guy with...
Waddle didn't play much, did he?
The thing is, you would have never known. Waddle was out there, Morgan. And another guy named McChee or something like that. He had 3 top wide receivers that I'd love to see with the 49ers. Yeah, he was out there.
Okay, well... Still, still he was playing good, and he had a 132 passer rating against the pressure, which is important because he's going to get pressured a lot in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right? And
can't take those numbers away from him.
Yeah, no, he deserves it. All the credit he's getting.
In SEC defense, we have to realize, Morgan, no matter what we think Mac Jones had as far as an arsenal, the SEC defense is sick. So for him to accomplish what he did, it was not easy. I'm off that.
No.
Yeah.
All 5 of these guys could go top 5. Like you don't know if the Patriots could want to move up, Washington could want to move up. So to say they didn't have to move up to 3 to get him, you don't know that. We don't know it.
It's true. And you got to do the best you can.
They wanted 49ers moved up to 3 because they wanted their choice of these guys. They couldn't move up to 2 because the Jets are going to take quarterback. I'm sure they tried.
At the Jets' mercy, and they don't even appreciate that. Right.
There's no way that they didn't try with the Jets because they gave up so much. Right? They gave 2 first-round picks in the third. When you do that, you want to get to 2, but you'll take 3.
I agree.
Yeah.
I still like the Jets determining what we do. I really wish, because you already knew where Lawrence was supposedly going, but now that's we've talked tonight.
I'm hearing this Urban Meyer, Justin Fields stuff. When Urban Meyer got in the building, the Jaguars told we're taking Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, they made that clear, did they? Do you think they're going to waver from that?
Urban Meyer's, even if I think he wants Trevor Lawrence, but I don't think it's his decision, right? He comes there with the understanding that he's picking this guy.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I bet they got that as a package deal. Sign here, and don't renege on us, because don't.
Yeah.
Trevor.
Yeah, this is an ownership decision to get Trevor Lawrence.
This is going to be fun.
It'll be really interesting. Yeah.
God.
And as
what are we
far
gonna
as
do with
getting rid of
number 3?
Jimmy, that they would have done it because they've been talking about this since March, right? Early March, they've been trying to get this trade done.
Mm-hmm.
And that was before the Cam Newton deal, and so they would have dealt Jimmy to New England if they planned on getting rid of Jimmy.
Yeah, because we're going to the draft. You
want to get some of that capital back. Yeah,
absolutely.
And who knows what New England was offering?
And how many quarterbacks have went by, Morgan? How many quarterbacks have we heard from since the season ended? And they're going to wait and wait and wait. What are they waiting for? There's no more picks out there. And Minshew was not. They're holding out hope that the draft night the 49ers are going to trade him. I said, keep hoping, guys. That's not going to happen.
No. And if anything, his draft value is down more now than the last couple of weeks. Now everyone knows he's not the future. Now everyone knows you're going to get rid of him soon.
And not only that, Morgan, the 49ers have made it clear what they want to do. So if you're going to call up, the 49ers will say, well, you know how we feel about Jimmy, so we got plans for the season, but what do you got in mind? How about a first-round draft pick? Well, you got to do better than that. Second round. So how about 2 draft picks? Listen, let me know. Call me back when you're serious. Toy with people,
Yeah, and I just, some of these callers are crazy. We're getting rid of Jimmy or Armstead.
Yeah,
First of all, Armstead is, if we cut him, that's $20 million against the cap. There's no chance.
Just sign him. They might try to restructure him if they really need money.
Maybe.
But Morgan, does it seem like they have a handle on this? Everybody's worried about the money. But the 49ers are getting whatever they want done. That's why I said, you know what? Can we leave that alone now? Apparently they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm not worried. I mean, I don't love the trade, but, I mean, we're getting our guy, so it's all good. And I trust Kyle, so if he thinks Mac Jones is the guy, I'm not going to be upset about that. If he thinks Justin Fields is the guy, I won't be upset about that either.
Yeah.
It's whoever, it's his choice. He gets to pick. He's earned the trust to pick his guy.
Mm-hmm.
If he messes it up, then that's a different story. But as far as now, he's earned the chance to go get his guy.
You know what he did with Jed? Jed gave him the green light to do whatever he's going to do. That's amazing. That's ownership. GM works with the coach. We have the perfect situation in San Francisco, Morgan. There's harmony, and everybody's working together. We can't help but to succeed.
You just got to get Jimmy's mind right. Hope he's not too pissed off. I mean, you want him pissed off, but you don't want him not coachable, right? You don't want him to not be around Kyle Shanahan. It's good that Kyle called him right away.
Yep.
Although I feel like they should have had the conversation with him earlier.
Well,
right?
yeah, but they probably hadn't made up their mind yet. But we're talking about a guy that was in camp with Brady, and people said there were times when you looked down in the field from behind, you couldn't tell the difference between Brady and Jimmy. This is what Jimmy's needed. He's got a motivation going on now. Bring it. Mm-hmm. Whoever's got it. Garoppolo's nobody's wimp and nobody's punk. I can't wait to see what happens next. We'll see.
And he's got his team behind his back. Saying, don't worry about the outside noise. Don't worry about what anyone else is saying. You know you can do this. Yep. You know we got your back. Yeah.
Well, we're going to go. Let me see you this weekend and see what else develops between now and then. It's crazy.
All right. I'm sure a lot. We'll see.
All right, Morgan. Have a great night.
All right. Good night.
And what? I thought I saw. She was the last guy. Slick!
Hello.
Slick is imitating JJ. Slick! Woo!
Finally, and I do mean finally.
Yes, Trey. Go ahead and talk about how cute and cuddly it's been in here. It's time for that to stop. Trey,
so cute
Trey's that
and
dude.
cuddly.
Trey's that dude you look through the door, the peephole in the doorway, and it's Trey, and you know he's coming in like the Grim Reaper to ruin the party. You know what I'm saying? Don't open the door. Trey, I love you, man. You know this. Slick. Hey, Slick, this situation is getting crazy. It's heating up. Draft style time, bruh. What's going on? Mac Jones, are you still hating on Mac? Or were you ever?
Mac Jones, I don't give a damn. We ain't drafting him. We did not trade all the way to the third pick to draft macaroni and cheese. You know, when you got what I call the answer, which is Justin Fields. That's like an Iverson version of the NFL.
Iverson.
Yeah. So to me, he's like one of those. He's like one of those like big names. Like he's like a Kobe or LeBron, that type of caliber of player. You know. So
that's saying something.
So and then that pro day, like today's Ohio State pro day, he sent Adam Peters and the quarterback coach, and then they're gonna meet up. The only reason why Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch went to Alabama's pro day is because they wanted to talk to Belichick so they could talk about the trade with Jimmy G. Okay, all right,
legal.
We want that number.
Yeah,
we're gonna draft Justin Fields or Wilson. I'm sorry, Zach Wilson, either or. Yeah. But I think it's gonna be Fields. But they're both NFL ready. So then, all right, we'll give you Jimmy, and we'll throw in Mike McGlinchey, and you give us that 15 pick and your second round pick. So what we're gonna do? Yeah, once we trade McGlinchey, then we're gonna either get Darrisaw or we're gonna get Slater. So we're gonna get both Fields and one of those offensive tackles. So, and then in the third round, then we'll probably get like Eric Stokes, cornerback in the third round, you know, or second round or whatever. So we're still gonna have our second round.
4-3. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but that I don't know, like both Zach Wilson and Fields had amazing pro days. They're ready. So at first I thought, all right, I believe what they're saying about Jimmy, you know, Jimmy like stepping in until the other guy's ready. But nah, these guys are ready already, especially with our team that's already like Super Bowl team, caliber team. So they're with them at the helm. I think we're still gonna go to the Super Bowl. We still make playoffs. We still win Super Bowl and stuff. So I think they're gonna trade Jimmy. I know they say what they said, but I think they're gonna trade Jimmy, and like either during the draft or
they said a deal that blows them away. If somebody comes up with a blow away deal, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because I mean, you heard what they said. They flew right after that pro day. They went straight over there. So they went to meet up with the rest of the crew, you know, and to talk, you know, because I mean, yeah, I think that it's gonna be Fields. I think it's gonna be Fields. I mean, you cannot pass on him. You can't. I don't care how Mac look like shit. I'm sorry, but excuse my language, but he when I saw that throw, I got flashbacks to the Super Bowl when that ball sailed over the receiver. That was that throw that Jimmy threw to Samuel that sailed over his head. You know, and then they show Shanahan's face. He's like, oh man. Yeah, he got flashbacks.
Yeah.
But yes, that's about that.
Yeah.
I think it's Fields.
We'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if it's either or. If it's Wilson or Fields, but I think it's gonna be Fields. And Jimmy's gone. I'm sorry, but
you know though, even though Jones did not have a good day today, you know he's still on the big board though. I only think that because the fact is for all his mistakes today, he still fits the Shanahan family.
I mean, I respect Tony's opinion because he is an intelligent young man. He knows his shit. Excuse my French, but he knows his stuff.
No, he does.
So, but and I don't take anything away from Mac, but he is not coming to this team. And if he does, I'll buy. Yeah. Not only would I buy a Seattle jersey, I'll give me a Dallas Cowboy jersey. That's how confident I feel that he's not coming over here.
You cannot leave us. We've already signed you up for life. You cannot break the contract.
I mean, I ain't going nowhere, but I mean, I'll buy one of those jerseys. I mean, I'll burn them up, but I mean.
Oh, I thought you were going to.
I'll still get one.
Because you know what? We should see them people catching people in the stands, changing clothes on the bleachers as their team is losing. I say, man, security, get this dude out of here. So, you know, this is like, what's rough? Because you can't be sitting up losing because people be picking at you. But, you know. All right. Hey, Slick, we gonna roll. I'll see you this weekend. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Go Niners. Nighthawk out.
Hi, fam. Oh, God. Listen, hey, Gene.
Ronbo.
Gene, how you doing?
I'm actually doing pretty good.
Well, Gene, as you know, we're abusing Mac Jones, except for a few of us. And tonight's flavor of the week, as far as 49er fans go, seems to be predominantly about Justin Fields. Gene, your feeling, Mac Jones versus Justin Fields versus a surprise pick. What do you think Shanahan's going to do with that number 3 pick?
Mac Jones.
Yeah? How come?
I mean, he does throw the ball way far and way high, lobs it down the field.
Yeah.
But
way
the
high.
still,
Well, that's right. Hit the top of the stadium? I got to go back and look at that. My God, what does it take to do that?
yes, lobs it. But he does want a running quarterback, and those two quarterbacks can run, but Mac Jones can't. Probably can, but he had made the team to 13-0, I think. Blew out teams to 60 higher.
In Alabama fashion. Yeah. They
And if they keep doing that, then they're gonna have a lot of specialties with our team.
So with Mac Jones,
if we have, then it's we're probably gonna be good.
yeah, you know what, Jay? Mac Jones comes or not, anybody else, 49ers are going to be good. They've got healthy bodies. If they stay healthy, they're well groomed in Shanahan's offense. They're going to play fast and they're going to play furious. And I really mean furious because they got to they'll be angry about last year. It's going to be amazing to watch the 2021 49ers if they can just stay off the IR. This is going to be something to behold. So, yeah.
But here's the thing. If Mac Jones becomes our starter, if he goes on our team, maybe Jimmy G is going to go on the bench and maybe leave our team.
No.
You never know.
You know what?
That
can't happen. Jimmy gets paid too much. And also, you can't underestimate Jimmy G. He knows what he's doing. If he stays healthy, he's not going to get beat out by Mac Jones or anybody else for that matter. We're going to find out. But if he does get hurt, though, it's going to be hard to get his job back. He's going to have to stay up there. But we'll see what happens with that.
Yep.
I mean, when you have your whole team backing you up like Jimmy does, it's going to be hard to fail. But I do hope, though, Mike McGlinchey, he's got to improve his game. If Jimmy gets the amount of time, I don't care what anybody says, Jimmy will cut a defense up. He's not had that but once. In the 2019 season, he had a pretty good season up until that Super Bowl game. And then only the last couple of minutes of the Super Bowl game, he was pretty efficient. Still some things he had to learn since it was his first full season. He's had that full season now and a little bit more. Look out. It happens to Matty Ice. I got a feeling it's going to be the same with Jimmy G. We could be looking at MVP. Watch, see, Jay. We'll find out later. What else, Gene?
But if we do make it to the Super Bowl and Tom Brady makes it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, no, you mean the NFC Championship game. Epic. Because both would have something to prove. That could be interesting. I would love to see that.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. If we do have Mac Jones, is Kyle Shanahan gonna let Jimmy or Mac Jones play to see
Jones is the rookie. He'll sit and he'll watch and he'll learn. Yeah.
He'll probably play like second, like first quarter and third quarter.
Platoon them, take turns. And Mac can learn faster that way. No, it doesn't work like that in the NFL, though. That's Pop Warner and some other leagues. It's Jimmy's team. Mac is going to get drafted in. He's the up-and-coming child of great expectation. So he's got to come in, and he's got to learn, and it's going to be a lot to learn in the beginning. And until he picks it up, he may challenge. If Jimmy can stay up all year, he'll challenge next year. And if he beats Jimmy out, Jimmy's going to get beat out. If he doesn't, then Jones sits and learns, or any other quarterback they have that they draft this year. Remember, Shanahan's offense is not quickly picked up. You're going to have to learn a little bit. So in the meantime, Jimmy, who already knows the offense, he'll be in charge.
Mm-hmm. But if Jimmy still talks to Tom Brady, maybe Tom Brady can help people. I mean, Tom Brady can help
Jimmy out.
Still,
Jimmy would do better to talk to Belichick. I think they always talk now anyway. So yeah. Gene, we're going to run out of time. Let's good to hear from you again. Let's see you Sunday. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a great night, Gene.
You too.
Oh, thanks, fam. And with that said, yes, we are rolling into the end of this particular program. Bam! Unless something crazy happens overnight, I'll see you this weekend. And Shane Lewis will become our GM of the week to be followed by our regular Sunday activities. And it's already on, by the way. I've got to contact Tony. Shane has already called out. Tony. That should be fun. But thank you for the contributions tonight, too, fam. So appreciate it. Meanwhile, have a great night. Love that. Back at you, DB Fool.